What's up? Welcome to your pre-show for the Kind of Funny podcast on today, October 21st. It's me.
Man, Halloween right around the corner.
Oh my gosh, 10 whole days from right now. Kevin, are you excited?
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do.
Like work or like costume work?
Costume work.
I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do. Probably that Harry Potter stuff that I bought, the Ravenclaw skirt. But now I have to figure out if we're doing a party here.
Party! I made it so there's nothing in the way.
You did move around all of our obligations so that we can do a party whenever we
And
want
that's,
to.
that's what you got to do. You got to make things nice and easy.
Make
so that
things
fun.
work. Kevin, can I see the chat?
I got it coming. Give me 2 seconds.
Also, we might not have people immediately
No, we definitely got
because
people in here.
no, you're fine. Because I am dumb, and A, I posted this really late today, and B, good, there are people here. I did the math wrong when I was like, it's 100 minutes till the podcast starts. I was like, I don't think that's the right math.
Today on the...
No, but it might have been the right math. No.
On the... Before the show
60
went
minutes.
live... No. While I was reading the...
Maybe I did it.
While I was reading the subs, I kept pimping this out. Oh, I like your earrings.
Thank you. These are from Nadia Ellis.
Oh. Really?
She started making them from Rooster Teeth. And I was like, hey, I like those. Can you send them to me? She's like, yeah. So I
Boom.
got these, and I got a black and gold pair that are really fun. And they're really light, which is my favorite thing, because dangly earrings usually really heavy, and then they like pull on your ears, and it's like
I
kind
don't
of
like that at all.
annoying. I know, right? So I like that these are light, and I can go like this. The end. Andy got that big red.
Big red, baby.
It was such a treat to open the refrigerator and
Have it still be
discover
there.
there was some still in there.
I'm
Not that I was worried that you would take them or anybody in the office would take them, but I was just like, I forgot they were here.
Yeah.
Best.
It was
I
a
feel
really
like-
fun feeling.
None of us would mess with your big red, even if we were in the most dire of soda droughts.
Definitely not true.
Most of us wouldn't.
Yeah, I guess
There are a
it's
couple of us that.
The person who just said definitely not true.
maybe the only person that would drink them.
Is the image down there stretched?
It could be. Is it? I can go
Something
It
fuck
looks
seems off
weird.
about it, right?
Yeah.
It does seem
It
weird.
was
It's
off.
really off-centered. I'll say that.
It was off.
Look at where the word Phillips lines up with the front TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look. It looks shorter.
Yeah, it looks like it's stretched. Zoomed in.
Zoomed.
Zoom.
So close.
heart go boom boom, my
So
supernova
close.
girl.
Do they sell Big Red? Like, do they have it available in like soda fountains in Texas?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like
It's usually Red Flash. Red Flash is Coca-Cola's version of it.
So who's Big Red?
I don't
is that
even
the
know.
Pepsi version?
No, it's definitely not Pepsi.
'Cause Pepsi's Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew has Code Red.
Bottled under the authority of Big Red Inc.
Wow.
Of Austin, Texas.
So
Oh,
there's
I did
their
not
own-
realize it was like a native thing for you.
It's a thing that like I've only ever really seen in Texas. I've seen them once up here, and that's it.
Wow.
But yeah, it's like Shea Serrano. You know the guy I'm always talking about. He'll always tweet out like a picture of a morning breakfast taquito, little taquito with like eggs and whatever, chorizo and whatever, and then it'll be like a Big Red, and he'll always caption it, "Mexicans are perfect."
I love that. I listened to him for the first time on a long drive that I had recently when I was driving back from Tahoe. It was him and some other guy, and they were talking about Fast Five.
Oh, Bill Simmons, most likely,
Yes.
maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
They do their rewatchables podcast
Yes.
or whatever. Yeah,
It was awesome.
yeah. They're
Very,
really
very
good.
So
good
good.
stuff.
I'm excited.
It looks stretched.
There's a podcast I haven't listened to in a while that or at all that I should, but he did a 6-episode series on John Wick.
Oh.
And called it. I think it's called like With a Pencil or something. And Joey would understand that
I
reference.
do understand that reference. I still forget you've never seen.
But yeah,
that.
they do like weird little like
It's upsetting,
offshoots every
Tim.
once in a while at the Ringer. The Ringer's cool. It seems like it's cool that they just have like freedom to like. Oh, we're mostly sports. That we come from Bill Simmons. That's his ESPN lineage. He's a Boston sports writer. But then every once in a while they'll just have like, why so and so is the perfect character in the world, or like
Love
just
it.
stupid
I
shit
love
like
those.
that. I love it.
It's great.
I'm very excited, Lexi Gunner. Yeah.
What Alexa gonna say?
For the new NBA season.
Ooh.
I watched the whole Cowboys game on the flight back.
I watched the Cowboys game yesterday.
It was rad.
Shocking
It was just
turn
cool
of
to be in an
events.
airplane watching a football game. It was so cool. I was like dozing off, and I would wake up and be like, "Fuck yeah, 30-point lead!" Or 20. That's awesome.
My grandma was very upset that the Cowboys were winning.
Oh really?
Yeah. Apparently, my grandma has this huge
Big
vendetta.
Eagles fan?
No, she just roots for anybody that's playing against the Cowboys.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, she
She likes the Niners, but she grew up with
well, like if you're
somebody liking the Cowboys.
if you're more of a Niners fan, like a lot of Niners fans hate Cowboys fans. There was always that rivalry. Like a
Yeah.
lot of Steelers fans hate Cowboys fans. Everybody hates the Cowboys. Like even though they're not good and haven't been good in a long time, it's
Yeah.
still like cool to shit on them.
just
Have
ingrained.
you guys noticed that Andy occasionally turns into a sports broadcaster when he talks about football games? We were eating lunch together right before we left from Toronto, and I was looking at him, and all I had was this beautiful view of the city. He had 5 games on behind me. And he would be mid-sentence, he'd be like, "Nick, I'll tell you, we had a great Oh, that's a great catch right there on the 42. I'm like,
There's a lot of good games.
She's got
man.
a
all
lot of
sorts
good
of
games.
sports.
I got so much history. Evidently, somebody fumbled something. There was a guy that was like playing for the Raiders that fumbled, and
Derek
Andy's
Carr.
like, he's already done that once. He
Yeah.
does this all the time.
Yeah.
Watch, I bet they'll play it. I was like, damn, Andy, you watch a lot of sports, bro.
And they did. So I was when I was watching the game on the plane, they showed a highlight of that same thing that I was like, they're gonna do a flashback, and they sure did. Derek Carr, poor Derek Carr, man.
Derek Carr.
He was running. He was trying to score a touchdown, and like he reached his hand out with the football to try to get to hit at the little pylon. If you hit the little orange things in the corner of the end zone, it's a touchdown automatically as long as the ball makes contact with that.
Really?
So he reached out and dove, but he got hit and like kind of lost the ball, and then it flew into the end zone, meaning it's a fumble, and the other team gets the ball.
Ooh.
So, and it was identical to a play that happened with the Cowboys, like against the Cowboys 2 years ago, where he was running the same thing, reached out, got hit, ball flew out. And I was watching it on the plane, and they were like showing the highlights, and they were like, flashback 2017. And I was like, I knew they were going to show this. Like,
I mean, when you make the exact same mistake twice,
Yeah.
it's pretty hard not to.
yeah.
How was your guys this weekend?
It
Was
was
it fun?
fantastic. It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tasty?
I feel like I'm turning in. Oh, there's a question about this. I'll save it for the real show.
Okay.
The show. Because we're doing we got some fun questions today. A lot of Halloween themed ones. So that'll be good. Got a good crew today for
excited.
that.
People are asking if I've seen the trailer for Bloodshot. I don't know what that is.
It's Vin Diesel's new movie.
Oh, Christ.
I don't know. All I saw was the trailer before the trailer.
I
Bless
saw
you.
someone, I think I saw
Bless
Boss
you.
Logic do some sort of like art for it, and I thought it was one of those. Wouldn't it be cool if Vin Diesel tried to do something else other than Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
And the answer is always, unless it's Riddick, no. Don't do
I
it.
think there was a band back home called Bloodshot, and we
Was
would
there?
call him Blood Shit.
Remember when he tried to make another franchise about him being a witch hunter or some shit like that?
Oh, yeah.
And it
Wh-
just
Witch Hunter?
with Michael
Of
Caine.
course, Witch Hunter. Yeah.
And
we
they
have
were
the
like-
hair.
Did you not like Triple X? XXX, whatever it's called?
The first Triple X is endearingly bad. The Return of Xander Cage is not good.
Wait. What?
But State of the Union is one of the greatest movies ever made. And it's because it's the one that Vin Diesel's not in. It's Ice Cube, and Ice Cube can literally, in my book, do no wrong.
Yeah.
Zero wrong.
DJ Kendrick says the whole room is slightly tilted to the left. Is that because of all the LaCroix just like slowly?
No, the camera's off.
We gotta
off
get that
kilter,
shit
just
outta
a
here, man.
skosh.
Also, the
skosh.
table's just a little off, too.
So many variables.
Cameron Kennedy says, are Star Wars tickets supposed to come out tonight? Yes. And I haven't been this stressed in a while. I just feel
You
like
haven't been this stressed since Endgame.
Avengers I had on lock because I was still stressed about it, but like I had a good idea of the time it was coming out.
Yeah.
And it was coming at a time that everyone else was asleep. So I'm like, if I wake up, I fucking got this shit.
Yeah.
And I did. And I got that shit.
Right.
did.
This time though, it's halftime of freaking Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
That means almost nothing to me.
It
I
seems
could
like
do
a
some
smart
math.
choice too, because most football people that watch football super into
Love
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
I just
So
don't
it's like-
remember exactly when The Last Jedi tickets went on sale because it was the same situation.
Yeah.
But it was earlier. It was not during halftime. Like, the trailer was halftime. The tickets came out earlier.
Does it stress you out how little it stresses me out?
Honestly, it does. It does. I wish there was a little more care. You know what I mean?
It's just everyone knows that you care the most. And in this office, if someone cares the most about it, they become the project lead.
If
And
they
you
care
are the
most,
project lead.
then that just by default means that Nick needs to not care.
No, if anyone cares about getting stuff like T-shirts or seats or stuff, I just default. You guys are into it. You're gonna do it better than me. Last time when The Force Awakens came out, I forgot how we got tickets to it, but I ended up not going with you guys, and I ended up seeing it in my local theater with like shitty sound, and I still cried.
Yeah.
It's still awesome.
Tony Trent says, Timmy, you're getting 20 tickets like you did for Avengers. I'm damn well gonna try. I have my best woman on it. Joey
This
Noelle.
is a lot of stress. Then it's all
Yeah.
on me.
It's not all on you. It's still
factor.
supposedly on me.
So here, what's the
Well,
deal?
I'm gonna be
You're
waiting. I'm
log
gonna be.
on-
I'm
Good.
gonna be.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you
like-
have the company card on your thing?
Yeah.
Good.
On the
Can you
AMC
do
app?
it through the
Yeah.
AMC app?
Yeah, and you can just buy like.
So can you just Slack everyone? Hey, they've just
Oh,
went
wait.
live.
There's
and I'll,
no chance I'm doing that.
Wait.
why not?
Because I'm gonna be trying to
Because
get
there's not
them.
enough time, Nick.
Wait. You can't.
When are they supposed to go live?
Can you not? Can we not just use our movie pass for it?
You can
whatever
for
the fuck it's
yours.
called?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
okay,
should try
cool.
and get more.
I'm trying to get as many as possible.
Gotcha.
In case
So I don't
I
have
can't
the.
go.
I don't have the company card. I just have like
Gotcha.
movie
Okay,
pass
okay,
where I can
okay.
reserve or whatever.
Yeah, I should give you it later so that you have it.
And also so I can put it in
for.
for Uber because I always fucking. I told Nick like over the weekend like Nick, I'm gonna get you that
Squeaking over
card.
there.
Kevin's doing something.
That's Kevin with a Sharpie.
Okay.
What's
Little
squeaking
squeaky
over there?
Sharpie.
So that way you don't have to do the reimbursements.
Joey's gonna get a small screen. Is it possible that we brought that up again in our Toronto
Was it possible
panel?
that it was a solid 20 minutes of our Toronto panel
God, I
just
hate
talking
you all.
about?
I'm so
how-
glad I
wasn't-
didn't know that they were streaming it.
It wasn't-
That way
we
didn't
weren't-
advertise it.
We weren't talking shit about you. We were just reveling in how much shit we've talked about you
Yeah.
over the years. It
It's-
wasn't anything new. There wasn't any like.
You're just
new
rehashing
thing.
all the things
we
you've
were
already
just
given
we
me
were
shit
just
for?
going through the litany of trash talking we've thrown your way.
Yeah.
Over the years, and it culminated, of course, with the Deadpool 2 screening, when the screen was somehow smaller than the original iPhone screen.
There's no way to know what freaking theater it's in
It's
when you
so
buy the
funny.
tickets. God, I'm so happy Tim made you all get AMC so that I don't have to do that.
Oh,
anymore.
we saw Last Jedi in IMAX though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah, Dolby didn't exist then, as far as I know.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that theater was relatively
Theaters,
new.
yeah, it's newer.
Yeah.
I also I was a super late adopter to Dolby. Like I didn't know it was dope until, what was it that we watched? Creed 2.
Well, because it doesn't seem like it would be as dope as it is for the added expense. You know, because it's one of those things where like every theater is pretty great now. Like the sound's fairly decent and screens are fairly decent, but it really is a market improvement.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What is Kevin doing? That's my question to you guys.
He's signing the Slytherin things.
Okay.
That he was just realized also said Slytherin on them.
What's that?
He didn't realize it said 15 points for Slytherin.
God damn it! Like trolling from afar.
That's the long game. Am I going to do this? And Kevin may never find out.
You got to put a lot of feelers out for if you want to be a master troll like myself.
Miss Yasmin says, has anyone seen the new Paul Rudd TV show on Netflix?
Oh, I have.
I
Yeah?
have not watched it yet.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. any
Find out my
opinion on
thoughts
that? Or?
a screencast. No, I'm just kidding. It was a lot slower and not as comedic as I would hope, but I think I found it enjoyable. Am I gonna if like there's another season? Am I gonna watch it? I don't know.
Yeah, I saw the Netflix trailer for it. Like when you boot up Netflix and it does that thing. And that trailer unsold me on it. Where I'm like, oh, this seems like a totally different tone. It doesn't seem funny.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I watched.
And for that reason,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Oh.
Shark Tank.
Okay. I don't want to watch Shark Tank.
I thought that's what it was.
I thought it was a Bachelorette thing. I thought I was like, it's either Shark Tank or
Specific
Bachelorette.
reference.
I watched a couple interesting films on the plane, both there and back. I watched
Films.
Godzilla King of Monsters, which I
Oh.
hadn't seen, and I'm like, oh, this is actually like kind of a fun movie that I wish I'd seen on a bigger screen now because the visuals were really really cool, but the plot is bonkers. It is fucking weird.
But
And
how much Godzilla are you going for the plot versus just like, I want to see monsters?
exactly, and I was like, look, this is Godzilla, right? We're just
So
seeing some
many
kaiju,
monsters.
and it's so cool. But what was unbelievable about that movie was like, look, okay, there are giant Titan-sized monsters that are fighting each other. So the suspense of disbelief has already happened. But what I couldn't get over is how fast they get everywhere. They go from being in a plane that's like hovering above the fucking stratosphere to a submarine that's like deep into the middle of the center of the earth in like 5 seconds. They're like, we don't even care. We're not even going to show a transition at all. Just cut. We're in the submarine, and Ice Cube's kid is there.
You want like
so
a road trip, like a montage, and ding, ding, ding.
It's just but like literally they go around the globe like in the span of 5 minutes. They're like, we got to get to Antarctica, and then
Fast
someone hits
ships.
a button, and they're like, okay, cool, we're in Antarctica. It was really weird.
Yeah, my biggest problem with that movie is like not only is there too many humans,
Way too many humans, and
or,
they
sorry,
keep introducing
Not only
them.
is there too much focus on humans, there's too many humans. Like there was about 6 groups of humans at certain points. You're like, why?
Not only that,
Why in
but one of them-
two-thirds in the movie are you introducing this new person that really
Yeah.
doesn't matter?
who is a twin. There's like one that has a twin.
Yeah.
And then you never come back to her. I was like, what? Why did you even introduce the twin if
It's like a
we never came back to her?
It's
It was a
nod
rad
back
movie
to
though. I liked it a lot,
old
especially
Godzilla stuff.
the final shots, like the final battle, and like the
Oh my god,
where
the final shot
where
of
it
the
ends
battle.
before it goes to the credits. I'm like, let's fucking go.
I'm
dude.
so excited.
Where they're all like, are we spoiling it? Can we
Well, I
spoil
mean,
it?
they
And
fight
everyone's
shit.
bowing. Everyone's bowing.
Yeah, the bow is cool.
No, I'm saying before that when
Where he eats the face,
yeah.
or he has the face coming out of his mouth and goes
okay,
and
so we're
blows
going
it.
full spoilers on that.
Fucking movie's been out. It's on a plane.
It's on a plane.
I watched that, and I watched. Now, Tim, I'm going to
That's
tell you
freaking me
this.
out.
I'm going to tell you the second
Fuck.
movie I watched, and you tell me which one I liked way more than the other one.
Oh god,
Great.
this is gonna be so easy.
I watched the last hour-ish. No context. Didn't need any of that because the movie was so strong that it didn't need the first act to set up the action that was happening in this masterpiece called Stuber. Man, I giggled during this movie. I giggled so hard
Nick
during this
Scarpino
movie.
giggle factor is high with Stu.
I laughed out loud like 3 times during Stuber. It is a dumb fucking movie. But man, what fun. What great fun. What good family fun with Batista and Kumail Nanjiani. And just a lot of Uber references. Like, I don't know if Uber paid for this film, but they are very prevalent in it.
Yeah.
And it's great.
What was the other movie?
Oh, fuck. Why did I watch the third one on the way there?
Oh, I thought you were asking us to guess which one you liked more.
No, Stuber or God
Or
of Monsters.
Godzilla. Oh, Godzilla. Gotcha. Okay.
Which
I
one do
see.
you think I liked more?
I mean, based on the way you talked about
Yeah,
it,
Stuber was great. Yeah, you nailed it, Andy. You know me, Andy.
Cameron Kennedy was saying that he watched Bumblebee last night, and then Robin GL was like, "Do you recommend it? Is it worth watching?" And Cameron says, "If you like Disney Channel movies growing up and Transformers, then for sure." You just nailed that.
That's another one of those examples where I'm like, you did not need the humans in this movie at all.
That's always the case with Transformers.
It's
Bumblebee.
like- But like her arc in that movie, you're like, all right,
yeah.
good, you figured out, you remember,
you remembered how to
dove.
dive.
Good for you, you
Why?
dove, you got over it. Why? To save the
the touch,
machine.
she had the
Well,
power.
guess what? Machines can't drown. They're machines.
Stuber is the new Tag. Is that true?
No,
Tag was really enjoyable.
Tag was actually
I really like
Tag
Tag.
was dope.
Tag was a lot deeper than it had any right being. Stuber, not
Not deep.
It is Batista.
Well,
doing,
you didn't see the first half.
It's true. They kept alluding to a part of that died, and then
Yeah.
because you know what it was, United is like has this weird like one foot stuck in the past, one fucking foot in the
It's so
amazing
dumb.
future, and like so most of the movies I watched, like I watched The Dead Don't Die on the way there, and I watched it through the United app on my phone, which I love. And then, but they also have the movies that are playing in the chair, but they're so old that it's the cable channel that starts. And
Dude.
if you don't catch it right at the beginning, you just come in halfway.
It's fucking nonsense. I
It's
hate it. I hate it so
ridiculous.
much. You know that they're getting rid of screens and planes altogether?
I'm totally for that.
I hate it.
I am all for that.
I don't want to
Because
hold
the
my
app-
phone for hours.
No, you
Tim,
put
don't
you
you-
put on your thing. It's fine.
You've got an iPad Pro.
Yeah, I have many different options. If I have my own options, I'm going to pack it with shit I want to watch.
But even then,
There's the luxury of planes where you watch the shit you never want to watch.
But
he-
like this
they're
new
taking
shit,
that from
But
me.
the new shit they're doing where it's like, okay, you bring your iPad, connect to the Wi-Fi, and then you have a list of movies that you can
I'm
choose.
well aware. of
Dude,
all
my
of
Wi-Fi
this.
kept saying that there was no access last night.
And that's the other thing.
That's
It
the other
works
problem.
half
A lot
the
of people
time.
had that problem. Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
maybe
You got to download
70%
the app and like
of the
sign
time.
in beforehand.
Because you better believe when the Cowboys won, I wanted to tweet out like, "Yeah, fuck yeah."
Well, that's
Oh, yeah.
the difference is you have to buy internet for that.
well, no,
This
that's,
is like
of
a-
course, yeah. I'm used to like you connect to the Wi-Fi and it's like, hey, Wi-Fi's connected. Now go to this tap to sign in here.
Right.
You go to tap, you do the thing, $10 for whatever the fuck or whatever.
I just feel like where are we gonna call a spade and just get a subscription program to United, where every time you go, you don't have to worry about any of this bullshit anymore. If I am silver, okay, I am a Premier Access member, silver. Can I
much did
not
you get
just
of this?
fucking get
a lot, yeah.
a lot? a lot. Can I not just get free Wi-Fi on this fucking plane already?
Well, we're moving towards
It's so stupid.
Free, maybe not, but like affordable, probably. Because
It should be fucking
them
free.
getting rid of the
Like
screens,
hotels
I
are
think,
free.
is step one.
Hotels tried to charge you for the longest time, and people were just like, "No, it's fucking dumb." Now they give you the shitty free access, so you can like download at a 28.8 modem your porn, and it's great.
Can we start the show right now?
Yes.
Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast, everybody. Tim's supposed to be hosting, but you're talking about hotels and like, hey, you're getting free Wi-Fi. You know why you're getting free Wi-Fi, Nick? Because they're saving on the fact that every piece of soap smells like shit.
Oh, this
why do
soap is-
all hotel soaps smell like shit, dude?
This
They
soap-
all smell like a fucking Pottery Barn or a Home Depot. Why are all of them like that?
Okay, first off, a Pottery Barn and a Home Depot, very
Very
different
different.
smells. Very different
Or
smells.
a Michael's Arts and Crafts.
That's-
like
that's
every-
closer.
It just
That is-
smells like
that is the
it
combination
smells like
of the two.
cement or something.
Andy,
Why?
You're an adult. You got to bring your own soap.
Yeah, why
It's
do you
just
have
because I
travel
bring a
bottles?
lot of toiletries already in the little tiny bag. The 311 rule, Joey.
Yeah, 311.
3
I'm aware.
milliliters of liquid in one bag for one person. 311, 311.
311.
You all messed up. You don't know what to do. Put toiletries in the bag for you.
I have no idea what you're
Gonna
saying.
go to
It's a weed
Toronto.
reference.
311, the band. Fuck,
Oh,
Joey.
I only know the
The
Amber
show.
song.
I didn't notice an issue with that because I'm with Tim. I bring my shampoo, my face wash, all the stuff that I need be like in front of my face that's really smelly. But I always use whatever the bar soap is just for my body, just because I'm like I don't want to bring that. And then there's something fun about using a soap for one day and then just knowing that someone's got to throw it out. It's just so
Nick,
wasteful.
what the fuck is wrong?
It's fucked up, right?
It
But I
just
still
drives
like
me
it.
out.
I love it.
A long
It's
time
the
ago, I hit a point.
worst.
I'm like, I bring my body wash. I bring my shampoo. If I'm feeling crazy, I bring some conditioner.
Did you ever get those little containers for 'em, or do you still
Oh,
just
yeah.
go? Okay. There was
do.
a time when Tim was following. I looked over and Tim had brought the full bottle of shampoo and the
Yeah.
full bottle of body wash, and I was like, I don't think
that
you need to
at
bring those
times.
anymore.
I do, depending on
Maybe he's checking a bag.
if I'm checking a bag and if it's a longer trip, why the fuck not? You know what I mean?
I don't mind doing
never
that,
know.
but I also think
Lots
that
of reasons.
TSA has gotten really lax on the amount of liquid. Oh, by the way, that's Tim and I'm
Yeah,
Andy.
what's up? Kind of funny podcast each and every week. Sometimes four best friends gather around this table. We got producer Nick Scarpino.
Hello.
Christmas in July. In what month is it?
Christmas in October.
Joey Noel. We got the Hispanic Heartthrob, Andy Cortez,
Hey, guys.
and then there's me.
So, I think they're kind of getting a little bit more lax with the amount of liquids you can take. So on the flight back from Toronto, we just went to the Toronto EGLX. We hung out with a bunch of best friends. It was really, really cool.
fun.
Did a bunch of cool panels and shit. It was fun. But I always put everything in the little 3-ounce bag or whatever. And so what I got in there? I got a little can of Rogaine. Need that foam. Not only to help me keep my hair, but also it's cool. It's just good like volume and shit. I have a little thing of toothpaste. I have antibacterial thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else do I have in there? I normally put a razor just because I don't want it like floating around my bag.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. It's full. Like, I fill this fucker up. So I don't really have room to put, like, a little mini shampoo or a mini body wash. Perhaps I could skimp out somewhere else and take away an article of liquid. But on the flight back, I left the antibacterial thing attached to my backpack. And I got the secondary screening bullshit. Where I'm in line and they're like, can we see your boarding pass? And I'm like, all right, well, you got randomly selected to do like a secondary screening thing. We're going to set you aside for a couple minutes. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm like, all right, well, that's fine because we're here 9 hours early.
We're here.
We got this.
there
We had
It was a
nothing to
Nick
do.
Scarpino trip.
No, we just had nothing to do.
Our panel ended and we were like, let's grab some lunch, and then there was just like 4 hours between when like lunch and then when we needed to be at the part, we're just like,
And then
we're
we're
so
like,
fucking
well,
tired.
let's
just
watch
go.
Force Awakens or goddamn Phantom Menace in the
Yeah, we're
airport.
like, we're
That's
just
the way
gonna
I
go
can
watch
just
Phantom
try to
Menace.
sleep on the flight. But so I get the secondary screening thing, and like they do the whole pat down, and then they like go through all your bags, and they do all the rubbing thing to make sure there's no like fucking
Hands?
bomb juice anywhere. I don't know what the fuck they're searching for.
Bomb juice.
But on my backpack, like they never made mention of the fact that, oh, you have all your liquids in this bag, and also you have this antibacterial liquid thing just hanging here. They never mentioned that. And I was like, well,
think they care.
I
there's
don't ever
different
put it
rules.
in a
It's 50-50.
bag anymore. I
Yeah.
haven't for like the last 2 years probably, and I never get stuck.
I have my, what's it called? Dope bag? I always forget what it's called. DOP. My DOP bag. The little toiletry
Yeah, the
bag.
toiletry
thing.
bag, yeah.
And yeah,
Oh.
I just put everything in there.
Yep.
I don't fucking worry. It's definitely not see through. And my,
Oh,
sometimes
I-
they'll like give me shit, but then they'll just be like, eh.
The difference between you and Andy is that you are TSA pre.
That is true too.
And you are global entry, and Andy is
very
not.
true.
Now, I'm not saying that like you're a lesser human being, but
I am.
their shoes and they're fitting right now. When you're TSA pre, they don't give a fuck about
Oh yeah, no, I
anything.
get that. But there's
They
a lot of
don't
times
care.
that I've had to go not
'Cause of
TSA
Gia.
because of. God damn it, Gia.
Well, the great thing on the way over there, Greg had us hooked up. I
don't
have
you
clear,
just-
and we had TSA pre.
Why
and
don't you just sign up for pre-check?
Because it's just a lot, Joey.
It's the best $85 you'll ever
It
spend
is
for 5 years.
fantastic.
I bought the clear thing, and that was dope. And they took me right at the front, and they're like, "Oh, TSA pre, go right ahead." And it was just like, "Wow, holy shit! I'm here. I'm in here quick."
I'll say
yeah,
I'll
dude.
say this for international flights, especially to Canada, global entry is
Global
I
entry.
just did my interview.
awesome.
Nick was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go to global entry. Good luck. Let me know if you have any problems." I was like, "All right," and then like 40 minutes later, I meet up with Nick because it took
Real
so
talk.
long.
I forgot Andy was coming with me. I looked up and he was there. I was like, oh my god, I've been here for an hour. I was just wandering
It was
around the
a
Toronto
long
airport by
time.
myself. But what's cool about Toronto is that like when you go from Canada to the United States, you do customs on the Canada side. So you go through and you do all the custom stuff, and then you go and you wait for your plane, which is usually opposite of what it is. But the global entry for Toronto is freaking awesome. It's a whole different area that you walk through, and you go down this little corridor, and then you pop up, and there's like 2 security lanes and 5 people there, and they were all lovely.
You
They were
walk
just
through and they're
lovely.
like they're shooting like the misting like fans at you, and then like there's like a fucking churro stand, and it's just like it's a beautiful experience.
They're like piping in some sort of like
Yeah.
jungle sound effect. They're like, oh, it's relaxing rainforest sounds. Relaxing. A sloth comes down and you pet him.
yeah,
and then sloth goes
oh,
away.
funnel cakes, nice.
Oh,
Like, it's such a delightful
Just
experience.
Disneyland. It's all Disneyland.
This is the Kind of Funny podcast every week right here on youtube.com/kindafunny. We gather together, talk about our lives, have some fun, do all that stuff. You can get the show early and ad-free by going to patreon.com/kindafunny. You can even watch live as we record it, just like our Patreon producer, Kieran O'Donnell, did.
Oh, Kieran O'Donnell.
Okay, I guess
Oh,
that's where
Mr. Lily.
Donald!
Patreon support.
Patreon producer.
there you go.
There it is.
Today's
That's
episode is brought to you by Hims and Quip, but we'll get to that later.
You guys just saw how the sausage is made right there, dude. That's how we get creative. We just
Yeah.
go. We just go.
Yeah.
Get out on the racetrack and just start running.
Just driving? Run from the cars.
Run the opposite of traffic.
Try to
Just go
dodge
do
the
it. Yeah,
cars.
it's super
So
fun.
you guys are talking about airplane stuff and service and all this shit. My topic that I want to talk about right now is customer service phone calls. In the last couple months, I've had many different things where I've had to call many 1-800 numbers, right? Some of them, most of them, have been absolute trash garbage, like you'd expect from a 1-800 number. One group that I've had to deal with a lot, Comcast Internet.
Sounds
you can
great.
you can expect those phone calls to be a minimum of what, 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to set aside a night for it.
Will things go your way? No, not necessarily.
Also, why won't they just let you do things through the app like you can do everything else? Why do I have to call?
And talk and do the whole fake begging of like, oh, I'm going to cancel. And they're like, do you want the deal to stay? And it's this whole back and forth. Now, I'm in a situation right now based on the Kind of Funny Gamescast a couple weeks ago where Imran changed my life and made me realize that Sonic Internet, fiber internet, is now available in San Francisco. So I'm like, I need to cancel my Comcast because I'm getting this thing now.
Oh,
Yeah.
good luck, dude.
Yeah. So what?
Like, good luck canceling.
Oh, exactly.
Yes.
So let me ask you one question. Have I canceled my Comcast yet?
No.
Have I got Sonic yet?
No.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have.
So
You
you
Oh,
have
I was
two
gonna,
internets.
I was gonna say you're 20% through the process of
Dude,
canceling.
it's insane. I call, wait, and blah, blah, blah. To get to the point of the story, I, after like 45 minutes, talk to this person, and he's just like, hey, so what's up? I'm like, oh, I'm trying to cancel. After I had to go through like 10 different automated, like, if you're doing this, canceling is not an option at all. It's just like, eventually I talk to someone, I'm like, I'm trying to cancel.
You
I'm
just
like, "All right,
spam
cool."
zero, bro.
And they're
Spam
like,
zero.
what can I do to keep you? Nothing, sorry, it's not you, it's me. I'm going with Sonic.
I'm
blah,
just-
blah,
also
I'm
blah.
kind of you.
I'm just
And-
not using the internet anymore.
and
I've
it's
just
all-
decided not to use the internet ever again.
Honestly, Comcast at my house for the last couple of years has been great. Like, I haven't
Yeah.
really had any issues. The app's been pretty good, but this is a perfect example of fuck Comcast. I'm telling them I just want to cancel. They're not letting me, and they're like, when do you want to cancel? And I gave them a date, and they're like, oh, that's too far out. You're gonna have to call again, like within 30 days of that. And I'm like 35 days away from it. Like,
Yeah.
are you freaking kidding me? Doesn't matter. Bullshit. I hate you, Comcast. You can die and burn in a fire.
Sure.
Sonic Internet.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world needs to model their customer service after this.
Hey, you get some free chili dogs. Oh.
Is
No,
it?
no,
Let me ask you this
Different-
question:
different
when
Sonic.
you call, is it the two guys in the car?
No.
The two really old guys in the car that are somehow
Really old
still
guys?
selling Sonic burgers. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
they're like in their 50s. Why
Oh,
are these guys
really?
the spokespeople
Are they?
for Sonic? They've been the fucking guys for like 20 years.
Oh my god. Maybe I'm not thinking about what you are.
The
I'm
Sonic
thinking of,
commercial, Sonic Drive-In.
younger dudes in the car.
No, there's like two old guys
I
that are
think
like
they-
Sonic burgers. Yeah, this is great. And
They look
say
the
a dad
same.
pun, and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking Sonic trying to sell these burgers, dude.
No,
Dad.
Sonic Internet. So the pitch on it essentially is fuck Comcast.
Yes.
There
Yeah.
they are.
Those old motherfuckers. Those guys are right there. That was probably from the 90s, and these guys are already in their 40s.
Huh. Interesting.
It's from 2018.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Wow. Not the guys I had in my mind.
Whatever.
Why are they dressed like that then?
But anyways, Sonic's pitch is essentially, hey, all the things you don't like about Comcast, we're just not going to have them. We're going to give you fiber. We're going to give you equal up and down, so 1,000 up, 1,000 down.
Awesome.
What the
baby.
Well,
fuck?
it's fiber.
Let's go.
They have the bandwidth.
It's Comcast has the bandwidth. They're just not letting you freaking do what you want
Yeah.
with especially the upload speeds. They throttle your shit. There's all the personal privacy bullshit. They limit how much you get per month, the data caps and all this stuff. Sonic's like, no, we don't do
It's
any of
amazing that Sonic was able to actually like lay fiber lines in San Francisco. Because wasn't that the big deal with Google where they were trying to do that and everyone was giving them shit because Comcast didn't want to get put out of business?
that. Yeah, I don't know. AT&T did it a couple years ago. So
they?
there's been fiber here. It's just AT&T. Also ridiculously expensive and has all those same issues. Sonic, though, was like, fuck that shit. And also, $40 a month. It's just
That's
like,
wild.
and with promises of like, it's not going to go up. You're not going to need a call and do all this bullshit.
Wait, but
Have you
also-
cut cable?
I never
you-
had cable.
Okay, so you're just everything's through the internet.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I have a question. Is Sonic like a regional thing? Because I've never heard of this until.
Yeah, I think it's here.
It's new.
Got
Yeah,
it.
it's newer and it's regional and it's one of those more boutique internet providers.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sure,
back
I'm
up-
sure to
be
get bought by
available.
Google.
Back in
eventually.
Texas, like we had DirecTV, we had Time Warner, but then we also had like what I don't even know, but like there was like an Austin version of that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
But I've been waiting for this for years to be available where I'm at. I'm moving 3 blocks away from my current house. My current house does not have it still. My new place does. And I'm just like, this is the best thing ever. But the point of this is I called their customer service and it was just the greatest experience that I think I've ever had. I called the 1-800 number, instantly talk to a human being. And they're like, what do you need to do? I'll direct you. No waiting for automated messages and all this bullshit. And I tell them I'm trying to set up a appointment for an installation. Cool. They transfer me. I wait 1 minute. A thing comes on. Hey, we'll be able to deal with you in the next 2 minutes. I'm like, cool. I like that. That's not bad at all. Eventually
Just
get
my
transferred.
mom's here, so I'll be with you in a sec. One second. Like,
Get
just calling
transferred.
someone's house.
And this very nice gentleman answers, and he's like, hey, like, what do you want? I like go through the whole thing. They don't ask me 10,000 questions that I've already answered 10,000 times. You know,
Yeah.
Don't you hate that shit? What's your name? What's your address? What's your thing? And then you have to repeat that stuff. Why? What's the point of telling the machine if you're not going to know when I get to you?
Right.
So anyway, then the problem was the demand's so high right now in SF that the first available appointment was December 10th. We're in October, man.
Yeah.
Like that's troublesome.
Well, I imagine they're a small company as well.
They are.
They're
They
not
are.
Comcast, which is like a nationwide thing, right?
But they're like, it's December 10th.
regional thing.
They're December 10th. And they're like, but here's the situation. We're going to put you on a list.
Look at that. So Kevin just brought up the fact that Sonic is delivering over AT&T's fiber network.
Awesome.
That's dope.
Interesting.
So they're like, the thing is, we're going to put you on a list that if anyone cancels, we'll hit you up and we'll do it earlier. And they're like, it's probably going to happen. So you'll get it earlier than December 10th. But every weekday, if you call back, if there's an available thing, we can just immediately get you in. I was like, sounds like a hassle, but whatever. I'm going to fucking try it because I don't want to wait that long.
Right.
So that happened here. Today, I gave him a call. Same process. Talked to a human being. It was awesome. And she was like, hey, just letting you know, we're getting slammed right now with calls, so it's going to be a little longer than normal. I was like, totally fine. I got time. It goes, cuts the thing, and then the robot voice comes like, hey, we're getting more calls than normal. It might be about 10-minute wait. If you want to stay on hold with music, press 1. If you want to stay on hold without music,
Oh, that's lovely.
press 2.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
want us to call you back when there's somebody ready, press 3.
That I like. I always use that.
I love
Those
that.
3 options, though, I was just like, what the fuck? Music or no
If you
music?
want me to
nothing-
sing to you,
Yeah. It's
getting
just if you want me to
requests?
call Andy so he can sing to you, press 3. There's nothing more maddening than when you have to wait on hold, and the hold music is like, it's like the same loop over and over again, and it drives you fucking mad. But it's also, for some reason, no matter how, it's like way too loud. So you turn your phone down, and then when it goes off, you're like, did it go off? And they're like, and you're like, oh fuck!
But also,
I got it.
people need to understand that, like, as long as we've been using phones, the quality has never ever sounded good, and probably never will, unless you're like using the HD calling or whatever the hell. Like, if you're just calling a restaurant, it's always going to sound like garbage. Why is this like the one point of technology that we haven't improved? But also, playing music over that,
Like, great. That's going to be a good
is
experience.
even worse. Yeah, and whenever I have to call My Fed Loan, fucking just fuck them to hell, right? But the music that they always play is like some cover that's like not a licensed version of Hey Jude by the Beatles. So it's like totally not Hey Jude, but like no, there's no vocals, but it's like it's all the different melodies, but some notes change and stuff like that. But it's like, oh, you're just this is Hey Jude in really bad quality.
This reminds me of, so Rooster Teeth uses a call service so it's not Rooster Teeth, it's just the service they use for conference calls. Has this one song they play on loop that was hilarious the first time I realized it.
Yeah.
But for the amount of times I'm on those calls and for hours waiting, I hate it. It's a
the
custom
worst.
song that's this weird country song where it took me about 10 times to realize that the lyrics are about waiting on hold.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're sitting there alone, waiting on the phone, you're on hold.
Oh god, that's
Will they
annoying.
ever get on? It's just like, oh my fucking god.
Although
this
if they hired me for that, I'd kill it.
you really would. But so that's just crazy. But this Sonic situation, I'm like, how has not everyone adopted this? This is like so perfect. Then I eventually talked to the guy, and he's like, hey man, sorry, December 10th is still the earliest, but you're still on the list. I just checked, and like if something happens, I'll let you, or we'll contact you or whatever. He hangs up. 2 minutes later, I get a phone call from him. He's like, hey, man, I just looked. There's actually an appointment in your place tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm like, that's not ideal for me. But, like, I'll fucking take it. He's like, yeah, cool. And I'm like, I feel like you made that happen, Dave. Shout out to you, Dave, from Sonic, if you're listening. And I appreciate it, man. Like, customer service
That's
goes
rad.
so far, and
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Here's my big question to you. So what was the process like of actually trying, like, did you finally, you haven't gotten it done, cut off from Comcast yet, though. So that is still an ongoing battle on some level to fire them from your internet?
Yeah, I'm just going to have to call them within 30 days of wanting to
Okay,
cancel.
so then
Which,
we'll
guess what? That
cancel.
30 days is now about to be sped the fuck up because
Yeah.
I have this one.
The question I always had was like, we still have cable. And so our internet obviously gets like, it's cheaper because we have the bundle or whatever that, you know. But like, I know I've heard horror stories of people going like, hey, I want to cut cable. And then your internet goes up to like $100 a month or something like that.
Oh, yeah. No,
So ridiculous.
Comcast right now for standard speeds is $95 a month.
That seems.
For
Is it
internet,
really?
For just internet.
That just
Okay.
seems like a
Without
lot.
the deals, without the anything.
Yeah.
Like if you let it
I got
lapse.
charged $80 for my like last month before I moved.
I think we paid like 70 or 80 for fiber for AT&T.
Yeah.
But that promotional period may have ran out, so I think they boost. Yeah, it's always like the first year is always dope.
Do you have
Yeah.
fiber?
Yeah,
Oh, was it fast?
it's real good.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Must be fun for gaming.
it's
when you
it's
Twitch
awesome.
stream
Like
and
when
stuff.
I'll be streaming and our roommates will be watching something, and then Barrett and Alyssa are watching something, and like there's nothing. It just doesn't even matter.
I'm so
I'm
excited.
jealous that you
Fucking
guys all
love
have
it.
this
It's really rad.
fiber.
You have it too.
I
Don't-
could get it, but you know me. It'll be 6-7 years before I get around to it. And then when I get it, I will act like it's the
Thousands of dollars.
coolest fucking thing ever. No, it's just because we like to have the actual cable bundle with it. And like,
But like,
I don't know. It just
I
seems
know
so
I
much
don't need
easier
to
pay one
even
bill.
try to give you the pitch on this, but Sonic and YouTube TV, it's cable. You have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
I
That
know
all
how
sounds
it is.
great. Yeah. It's
So
not gonna
anyway, if
happen.
you work in customer service, I feel for you sometimes, but hit up your managers and be like, yo, give Sonic a call. Let's copy that.
Yeah.
That whole experience, man.
Let's have them sort of be the blueprint for how we run our company.
Like the fact that they gave the option of music or no music, like that really to me was like, this is unnecessary. And I love it.
It's so good. I don't want to listen to your dumb
I don't.
instrumental music.
I need like every minute for a voice to come on and go,
Yeah.
you're still on hold. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Like,
I don't need
dog,
like,
I'm here.
Well, so some
you know?
some of them do the thing where they do the robotic thing where it's just like, you have approximately 7 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever. Give me that update constantly.
Yeah, it's
You
fine.
know? Just let me know where I'm checking in. I understand that time might slide.
Yeah.
I want a guy to like pop on every once in a while and just be more reassuring and be like, dude, trust me, I want to talk to you. But I'm just like, it sucks. I get it, dude. Like, I want to be be there for
Listen,
you, bro.
man,
But I'm busy.
You're not next, but I wish you were. I wish you were next. That's what I want to do.
I want to. I want to. Yesterday, we were in Toronto all weekend, and we told some stories of things that happened in Toronto. And we told that on the panel, and I believe that's viewable right now somewhere on Twitch.
Probably on
It's
Twitch,
in one of the
okay,
VODs.
If you go to the Kind of Funny subreddit, people have linked the VODs.
But I know a lot of you motherfuckers haven't, and you guys for sure haven't.
No, we didn't know it was streaming.
So Friday night, we arrive in Toronto, and we're discussing where to go eat because it's one of those things where we like to end these conventions with a nice steak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice little reward for, hey, great job. Let's eat a steak and let's celebrate. But we couldn't do that because we had a panel on Sunday, and then we had to leave kind of like right after that. So
It seems weird to have a nice steak dinner at 2:00 in the afternoon.
yeah, there was not a moment for that. So we were like, well, do we have a steak when we get in, or do we go to Stormcrow Manor again and like actually have a different experience and get put in a different room? Greg calls reservations.
Stormcrow Manor?
Stormcrow Manor is like a giant mansion
I'm happy
full
to
of
bring something up.
full of different rooms that are all themed to different like nerdy things.
Yeah, it looks like in the middle of this brand new city, they just transported
like a
the
Disney
Bates Motel.
haunted motel or
That's
something.
Like the
Cool.
Bates Mansion, or the Addams Family Mansion. It just is this old, like historic looking manor that they
Yeah.
were able to come into and build out a restaurant. But every room is a different theme. So we were, not a different, is it a different theme?
Yeah, there's like a cyberpunk room.
Yeah, that's right. I forget which one we were sitting in.
There's
but-
I don't know what the fuck.
yeah, and so like when
did
you
Bruce post pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you order a drink, like you can order one of those big drinks that everyone can drink out of, but it's out of the
bowl.
it's a punch
European
bowl,
bowl
but
type
it's out of the Darth Vader mask.
Oh.
And when
then
they bring
do
it to
it,
you-
it goes the Imperial March plays and everything goes red. It's like dun, dun, dun,
And you hear
dun,
like,
dun, dun,
This place is
dun, dun.
epic.
That's
It is
so
freaking
cool.
such an awesome experience.
It's definitely really fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
like
saw
the-
the
you
chest
do-
thing. He posted.
Yeah,
a
the
video of
chest
that.
is the mimic thing. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a little monster chest or whatever. Anyway, so we call and it's like 3-hour wait. We're like, fuck, nope, we're super,
Yeah, Greg
super
calls
hungry.
at 7. He said, "How long would it be for a party of 3 or 4?" Because we had Adam joining us, and they were like, "Let me check." So that's gonna be 3 hours. I'm like, so basically, no is the answer to that question.
Yeah, so we went to a steakhouse and it was really, really good. And it was us three and Adam Boyes, who was also in town for EGLX, and he was doing a couple of.
Oh, fun.
I think he did like a keynote or something like that, and it was really cool because he. I had never really gotten to hang with Adam ever, so it was cool just to. He just regaled us with all sorts of awesome industry stories that were like, for someone like me who hasn't been, on this side of it very long, it was cool to just sort of hear, insider things here and there. It was like, oh, wow, it was almost like a podcast I would want to listen to, and everybody got kind of hammered a little bit. Greg especially.
Yeah.
Greg and Adam got really, really drunk where it just, the waitress kept coming up and like, want more wine? And he's like, I guess so. So they were drinking wine. Me and Nick were drinking some cocktails. And me and Nick were pretty much there. But Greg was like,
I had
past the
a
point.
good buzz going because they were good cocktails. All I wanted was, I was telling these guys like weeks ago, I was like, I'm very excited to be going to Toronto with you. I had a great time last time when it was just me and Greg. This is a great convention. It's smaller. It feels way more intimate. And I will recognize it. Like, it's going to be fun and really relaxed and chill. What I want to do is I want to start off with a good cocktail.
And Greg-
Not drinks, just like something delicious.
Greg did mention that 3 weeks prior to all this, Nick was walking up to me and Greg and going, who's ready to party? Because Daddy wants a cocktail.
Daddy just wanted a couple cocktails.
Classic Nick
You
line.
wanted one 3 weeks in advance.
So Adam,
He was just mentally
Well,
preparing.
because
for it.
I haven't
Building
partied
up
in
to
a while,
it.
and we've been putting in the work over the last couple of months. It's been, like, especially the week leading up to us leaving, I was like,
Yeah.
I can't see straight. We've done so many fucking podcasts and reviews. So we get there, and I'm like, I look. Adam already had a cocktail, and there's a paper plane, which I'd never heard of this cocktail before, but I guess it's a staple because they're everywhere in Toronto. And he's like, "Do you want to try it?" And it was exactly what I wanted. It was like bourbon, but with like a citrus taste to it. Very light, very refreshing, ice cold. And I'm like, I want 10 of those. Give me 10 of those. But there was also this this rum punch thing that we were going to try. Everything, and when you get it and you're like, this is quality.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good quality cocktail. Was it like $17? Maybe. Who cares? It was expensive.
Exchange rates.
But we had a couple, and the guys were like, "Do you want wine with your dinner?" I don't drink wine, and for me, if I'm on cocktails, I'm like, I'm gonna do 2 or 3 of these, and you know me, I'm ready to party until that third cocktail hits, and I'm throwing up in the bathroom, and I'm Irish goodbye.
Greg, Nick Scarpino, I would give you 2 cocktails.
Uh-huh.
If there's a third, you're gonna throw up.
There was 3 maybe or 4.
Sure.
We had 3. Well, we had 3, but we slow played it because we were just enjoying each other's company,
Yeah.
and we had no place to go Friday night because our first panel wasn't until 12:30 the next day. So we were just slow playing cocktails. The steaks came out; they were really, really good. As the steaks came out, Adam looked at Greg and was like, "Should we order some wine?" And Greg's like, "Absolutely, we should order some wine because he's 2 dirty martinis into the night." No one asked me and Andy. We not like we would have said no, but no one asked us if we wanted wine.
I wanted to just keep rolling on the cocktails.
I just wanted the cocktails because they were delicious.
I drank a really spicy margarita. It was so
looked
my
good.
mouth's watering just thinking about it. It was so good, and and there was like a couple jalapenos in there.
Yeah.
God damn, it was tasty, dude.
So they bring out the wine and they ask us if we want glasses, and we say no. And Greg's like, "Oh, they didn't get glasses," and we're like, "Oh, we're not drinking wine." And Greg's like, "Oh, I guess more for us." They nailed that first bottle. And then Adam was like, "I'm going to get us a second bottle." And Greg's like, "Sure, why not?" By the end of the second bottle, this is how drunk Greg was. He legitimately thought that the cure to the wine drunk was to have another cocktail. That's where he was. I was like,
no.
"I don't know, I feel it's really good, but I think I'll just have one more cocktail. That'll bring me right back." And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. Adding more water to the pool just makes it deeper. You know what I mean?
well, after they finished the second bottle, the waitress
He was
kept coming by and be
slurring.
like, "Do you want like not another bottle?" And she's like, "Well, I could just bring you like another little cup or whatever."
I'll
and you're
split
like,
a glass
"Yeah,
with
sure."
you.
So they kept on like splitting glasses.
God
and
knows how
then,
much they had.
We've all been there.
And then at one point,
They were having a good time. It was fun.
you know, Greg was like, "Oh, so what's going on?" And I was like, "Well, I know Bruce is here, and I think Bruce is at Stormcrow because I saw him posting."
Oh my God.
And then Greg texted him, "Don't you ever fucking talk to Andy again?" And then the follow-up text was like, "Okay, done. But also come to Stormcrow right now. We're drinking. We have a lot of space.
We're drinking.
available."
Now, if I said, "Tim, come to Stormcrow right now. We got space for you. We're drinking. We're having a great time." Would you be like, "Let's just take the party vibe that we have, that we've
Yeah.
cultivated over the last
It's a party vibe.
3 hours of
Yeah.
getting shitballed,
Uh-huh.
and let's take it over to this unbelievably like perfect themed mansion for us, right?" And you would think that the energy that you would find there would match your energy. We were wrong. We were wrong.
Oh
They
my
were having
God.
a lovely, nice dinner, talking like that. "Oh, how are you doing?" "You good?"
Everybody was like drinking though.
And they were drinking, but they were like drinking like responsible adults. We came in like high school kids that just discovered beer.
Holy
we were
shit.
fucking loud as shit. And like Elise looked at me like, "This is not that kind of party."
We got there and like Greg's like, like, Greg is yelling and he's being super fucking loud, and all of us are just like, "Oh, this is not."
I was so drunk. I was like, "I'm having a great time," and I realized that the response I was getting from people was not. I was like, "Oh, they're not having me right now." So what did I do? I just turned to the table next to me. I was like, "I'll make friends with these people," and they were not having me either. So much so to the point where, as we left, I thought we were best friends, and I touched the guy on the shoulder, and he looked at me like he was about to fucking take a swing at me. Like I pulled my hand back like his shoulder was burning. I was like, "Sorry." He was like, "What the fuck,
Damn.
dude?" I'm like, I don't know. I thought we were friends.
Who did you meet up with?
So part of the other group, Chad, James from Rooster Teeth, Elise,
Bruce was
the
there.
Willemses, Elise and James, Bruce, and they had a couple of friends that they've known from like old school Screw Attack days, you know, and so first order of business, order the infinity shots.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Naturally.
Did they work this time?
They it wasn't exactly how we wanted them to be. It wasn't the shots that were. The lights
Glowing.
weren't in the shots. They like brought
little
out
lit cubes
lit up
that were
cubes.
all
Did they play
around them,
music
like-
for this one?
Oh
They
yeah,
look like the
the
stuff.
lights going crazy, and you hear
Not only
you hear
that- yeah.
Thanos being like, "I'll do it myself," and
myself.
it's so rad. And
The
like,
video was super cool.
yeah, it's really really cool. So they
Fuck,
brought those out.
yes.
We took those shots, and they weren't really even shots. They were like they were
just-
just super sweet. You could tell there was like very minimal alcohol. So I was fine with those type of shots.
And this is hold on. I didn't realize this was after the wine.
Yes.
Oh,
After all of that,
no.
and then they're like, "We're moving the party upstairs. Everybody, let's go upstairs." So we went to like this special
They were
little
like,
room.
"You guys can go." One of the guys came over. He's like, "Hey, just so you guys know, not talking to anyone else in this area, mostly us. We've got this private room upstairs for you that you guys could go to if you want." Translation: please go up there because you're literally driving everyone nuts around you.
No, I think it's the people that we were with know those people that
Is that what
work
it was?
there. Yeah.
Oh, I got the impression they were like, "These guys are. This is gonna be
Because
chaos.
they like
let's
to
get them
let's
into a
lock these
confined
fucking
space."
wild animals into a cage."
Yeah, so we
exactly.
went upstairs. They were like, "Oh, let's show you a tour for nobody who's been here." So we went to like all the cool different theme rooms, and then we went to like some private room that like isn't open to anybody. It was really nice or whatever, and I think it was like Twin Peaks themed or something.
Is that what it was? I don't know. There was a cyberpunk room that was cool. The one that we were in was fine. people just kept ordering shots.
Yeah, and then Bruce is like, shots. What do you prefer, Andy? I was like, and he was like, what do you prefer? So we ended up doing the 20-sided die shots. The 20-sided die is a 20-sided die, and you roll it, and there's 20 shots that are all associated to different
you let
numbers.
luck pick it.
And so you just like, I roll like a 15, and Nick is like, roll for me. So I rolled a 19 for him, and then we all rolled, and we all had shots brought out, and they're all different themes. So mine was like the Matrix something, I forgot. Enter the Matrix, and it was like a mint chocolate sort of thing. It was like kind of like Kahlua or some bullshit, and then there was like a mint kind of layer of syrup on top.
Like
it was super good. Everybody had different theme shots, and then Nick is supposed to drink his shot, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get to it." And we're just like, "No, you better fucking take the shot, Nick." He's like, "Yeah, I'll get to it. Don't worry, don't worry about it."
Because I told prior to this, I was like, Bruce, we're going fucking hard tonight.
He's such a
And
liar.
He's like, dude, that sounds awesome. I was like, are you ready to go all night? And
Were
he's like,
you
yeah.
like in the Paloma mindset?
Well, my thing was the thing about it is this: I don't like shots because shots they're just why I can't.
I don't think I've ever
I-
seen you do a shot.
I just don't like
when
them.
we've
You
been
can't
out.
enjoy them. I'd rather have a cocktail that tastes good, so I can just continue to talk and party. And B, the drinks, and this is not a knock necessarily against Stormcrow Manor. The drinks aren't their focus. It's the overall, the themes, and the overall ambiance of what's happening. The drinks were pure sugar. They were fucking disgusting. And I don't like really sugary shots, and I don't like pure alcohol. I just don't like shots in general. But I wanted to keep the party going.
Bruce goes, "Nick, you're gonna take your shot? Dog, I'm ready to party all night." And then
I can see and hear this.
he's so annoying. And then, so of course, somebody else takes his shot. And then Adam Boyce is like, "We're gonna do double pea shots. It's like a pickleback, but instead of a pickleback, you're using like pineapple juice to chase."
Yeah,
because he's like,
it
"I
was
hate."
Don Julio with a pineapple chaser, which was good.
Yeah.
Oh, that
How
sounds really
is this
good.
night still
So
going?
then there's
Not
more.
only is the
Are any of you
not only is the
standing?
night going, but we had just had a lovely steak dinner where it was like, I was
It's
like,
a nice base.
I'm really full. Like, and we get there.
Oh, we're really full. I'm
and
so full. I want to vomit. I'm so
ready
full.
to just take a nice little nap for 8 hours and wake up really refreshed. We get there, and for whatever reason, in between walking from the downstairs bar that we were at to the upstairs bar, Greg's like, "Should we order a bunch of appetizers?" I was
No,
like,
he
"Yes."
doesn't even ask. He just
He
goes.
just did. We ordered pickle chips, a giant plate of nachos, and poutine, and then we ordered more afterward.
Yeah, but the funniest thing is like they're bringing out the Infinity War shots, and it's 6 shots each, dedicated to the different color stone or whatever, and they're bringing those out, and all the music's going crazy. And I think Adam Boyce is recording, and you could like probably see the video on his Twitter or something. They're showing this video. It's like, oh, we're all freaking out, and you just hear Nick off camera, like kind of far away, like, "Can we get some pickle chips?" And it's so fucking funny. So then, by the time that we're like, we've already done the 20-sided die theme shots, and then it gets to a point where Anna Boyce orders those double pickleback shots, or I
You're
forgot
like
what they're
3
called.
rounds of shots in at this point.
Yeah. But also, in
top of
conjunction with everything
everything
else. Yeah. And at this point, Bruce is like more annoyed with Nick that he's like, "You're going to take these shots, Nick?" And he's like, "Oh, let's go, baby." Nick's in the back like, "Let's go, baby." And then the shots come, and he's just like nowhere to be found. Like disappears somewhere. And then he comes back and they're like, "Andy, you better take the shot too." And I'm kind of like, "Oh, all right, I guess I'll do it." And you have like the pineapple juice and the Don Julio, and then Nick pops up with his 2 drinks, and everybody's like, "All right, everybody at the same time." And Nick's like, "Yeah, everybody at the same time, guys. 3, 2, 1." And he's like, "Ugh." And he just starts like sipping on the Don Julio.
Sip it a little bit.
He's so annoying.
I drank the second part of it, the pineapple juice.
And then the big Darth Vader helmet with all of the straws
Oh my
poking
God,
out of
you
it.
guys.
Nick opens like the top of the Darth Vader helmet and like, "Oh, what's in here?" I'm like, pours his shot in there. He's such a bitch, dude.
Dude, here's the thing. I was having a great time, and I was like, shots ruin my night every single time. Because shots are the things
Then
that
say
creep
no.
up on you fast.
Yeah.
No,
I don't want. No is a negative
I'm
word.
usually
Tim.
the same way. But they didn't because of all the fucking food we were eating, dude.
Oh, I know.
We had like an extra round of like
Poutine.
the fried pickles, very similar to Pluckers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting the long
Yeah,
one.
the
Yeah, the
spears.
spears.
And the breading was fantastic.
Now,
It was
to be
so
fair,
good.
they were very popular to the point where Elise Williams walked over. She's like, "Oh, that looks good." Takes one real fresh, puts half of it in her mouth, bites down, thinking it's a mozzarella stick, gets fucking searing hot pickle in her mouth and just goes like a child. And just spits it back out onto the. And it just looked at me, and I was like, I would have done the same thing.
There was just like a leftover pickle like in a tray the whole night.
I will say that it was fun, but the whole night was perfectly punctuated by the fact that Greg hit a wall. I haven't seen Miller hit a wall in a while. Like normally Greg's drunk. I'm drunk. I'm Greg. We're on Extra Life. We're drinking whatever. But you know he's gonna. The ramp down is happening slowly, and he comes back down into soberness and goes, "I'm just tired. I'm gonna go home." The fucking car. Oh shit! Hit a wall, and he was just like, "I gotta go," and I turn around. Everyone's gone somehow. And I look over, Adam goes to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just walk out and meet up with the guys because I'm assuming they're waiting for a cab or an Uber, and Adam will file down in a second, right? I get out. It looks like these motherfuckers robbed a bank. Andy's in the Uber already, trying to close the door. And I'm like, yo, he's like, it's too, we gotta go. And I'm like, wait for me. I'm like, he's like, no, we can't go. I was like, we're going to the same place. And just let me get the fucking thing. And I start getting excited. Because I'm like, what's happening? Like, are we getting chased by something? I get in the car, close the door, the Uber takes off. And I was like, wait, did you guys say bye to Adam? And Greg's like, you can't talk at this point. He's like, And I'm like, what? I'm like, can you text? I don't have Adam's number. Can you text him and let him know that we left and like say goodbye to him? Because it's like we just ditched him for all intents and purposes.
He was just in the restroom.
And Greg's like, sure, and does something on his phone. And the next day looks at it. I forget what he texted him, but it was nonsensical. In cab, must go. I think is what all that it said. And I was just like, and then oh my god, the next day we come out to the third. We're going to the little walkway.
No. First off, it's Greg is very. Whenever we go out to do these things, you know me. I'm always the last to show up in the lobby. I'm always the one that loves to sleep in the most. You and me are very much like, let's sleep in as much as possible. And our first panel's at 1, and Greg is like, as we're walking up to the elevator, he's like, everybody meet down here at 11? 11 sound good?
He's like, what time's panel tomorrow? I was like, 12:30, but we got to check in. He's like, let's meet out at 11. 11 sound good, everyone? Great.
11's great. And then...
What time are you guys getting home?
We're getting
like 2 something.
2 something in the morning. Yeah.
And then
it's beyond the 8-hour window to wake up at 10.
I wake up to a text like at 10:20, and Greg's like,
hey, I was real
did
drunk
I say 11?
last night, yeah.
I meant to say 11:30. Let's do 11:30. I was like, all right, perfect for me. I get to sleep in a little bit more. I'm snoozing nonstop. Every time a song pops off on my phone from my alarm, I'm just like, nope, fuck that. Snoozing. Wake up to another text. Greg's like, I'm still in bed. I love sleep. I'm going to stay here till noon. We're like, all right, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So I sleep in more and more. And then we all meet Greg downstairs at the lobby. And Nick is like, yo, Greg, how you feeling, man? He goes, not good. Not good. And this is like the most I've ever, if ever, that I've ever seen him hungover. Because we've gone to these events. I can't
remember the last time I saw Greg Miller hungover.
Drunk.
Or you, for that matter. Like, I've seen you hurting, but like this was like if I gave Greg the option of staying in bed for another 16 hours, he would have gladly taken it.
Yeah, and
Greg is always first down there.
Yeah,
always.
Exactly.
Always.
And the thing is, like, we've seen him get very drunk at, like we've all gotten drunk at these events or whatever.
I have no shame.
But this was the most that I've seen him in the morning. Where like, oh, he should. I think somebody offered him food at the meet and greet. He's like, no, I cannot put anything in my body right now. Like,
well, so that's the worst part. Is the first thing you guys had to do was the meet and greet?
Yeah. We had the hardest. Like, I shouldn't say the hardest, but the thing you want to dedicate the most energy to is always the meet and greet.
For anyone at home, you don't understand how much a meet and greet takes out of you.
Yeah.
And I've done my fair share of them not feeling great.
Well, this was just an autograph photo session, granted. Like it's not like when we go to the bars or whatever.
That's a little harder. But this was the organized, people that bought tickets could come out and hang out and have a signed stuff. But still, it was an hour and a half.
I can imagine where Greg was at. That is the worst place because you need to interact. You need to be on, and you don't have much going on.
Nope.
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, and the meet
fun.
and greet was fantastic. Though we met a lot of cool people. There was 2 people that really stuck out to me in particular because they were totally separate from each other. They weren't there as friends, but they both walked up to us, and I don't want to name their names, but I know one of their names for sure because I've always seen them in Twitch chat and stuff. And they both had kind of the same story where they're like, "Hey, I'm from Brazil." And I listen to y'all's podcast all the time, and I live here now or whatever. But you all's podcasts have helped me with my English so much. Like my English was so bad until I started like really listening to you guys, and now
Now I say dog
and now I work and now I work in the games industry, or now I work here.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really
And it's
cool.
just like, whoa, it like fucking blew me away. I was like, this is really, really cool. I'd never heard of that, you know?
Me neither. And
Yeah.
It's always awesome. And
Yeah.
shout out to those guys that told us that, because it's cool. It makes you feel good, honestly.
Yeah.
to
And
hear
then
stuff
another
like
guy
that, which
comes
is
up.
great.
I believe his name was Scottish Jeff.
Scottish Jeff.
Or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he walks up, and he's wearing the Diet Coke bandolier.
He's got a bandolier.
Kevin, can you look up this Diet Coke bandolier, which is on Nick's Instagram?
Yep.
On it.
So he walks up to us, and super great dude, super like very very personable.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, wrong. Wait, what?
No,
the hell
Kevin
is that?
blocked you.
Oh,
blocked me on Instagram?
I told you I would if you talk
Why?
shit about me.
about
being a
Slytherin being Slytherin.
So I guess we can't pull it up. Sorry.
Well, there you
Yeah. Oh well. So he walks up to us, and he walks up to Greg and's like, "I have something for you," and he gives him like a little Ghostbusters pin. And Greg was like, "Oh wow, fuck yeah, thank you." It was like a little Ghostbusters keychain or something like that. And by the way, we'll tell the story about these awesome shots here in a bit.
Boom, look at that. I'm
We could just do a
Canadian
whole
now.
podcast on these last like 10 photos. So, and then he walks up to Nick and he has this Diet Coke bandolier and he gives it to Nick. And then so it's my turn for a gift, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get like something Mass Effect or like a Hyper Light Drifter or Mega Man or something like that. And then he busts out a little like white bag, like with something wrapped up, and he's like,
I thought it was a candle.
Canadian homegrown. There you go.
I was like, oh, he gave him a nice candle.
I opened, I was like, this is weed.
There's a lot of weed.
Give me like a lot of weed in a canister.
Yeah.
And at first I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't my character and kind of funny.
Like,
Like,
but it was one of those things where, like, we're clearly.
He
and
tried
this
to
shout
read
out to
between the lines and
Yeah.
just missed.
just totally. I mean, he nailed mine because I was like, cool, now I'm Canadian. But with Andy, it was so much weed that I'm like, we're here for a day more. Like, I would have to share this with a large group of people to
Where
get
could
through
we
this fucking
possibly
weed.
find that?
Oh my
and
God.
but then my second thought was, maybe he didn't know I was coming. Maybe it was just in his bag, and he was like, "Oh, I got to give Andy something. Let me give Andy this weed because I have stuff for Nick and Greg.
Yeah.
Who know? Maybe he'll enjoy the weed. I don't know. So
You
yeah,
know that
but
now every time you do a meet and greet, people are gonna give you weed, right?
it was like, and again, it's not like a personality that I've.
No.
Like, I know I always look high. That's the thing. Like, I'm always like, on podcasts looking like that, but that's just
The
because I'm
comments
tired.
always comment on it.
Yeah, exactly. Or even when we did the Mountain Dew, I thought I'd get something Mountain Dew related or like hot Cheetos. Or I did get hot Cheetos. It was very good.
Croquettes.
No, I was like, take your weed back. He's like, oh, it's yours. It's yours.
So then we go to the
"Oh."
green room, and I'm like, does anyone like weed? And now I look like a fucking drug dealer. 'Cause I'm trying
Does
to get
anyone like weed?
Well, I was
Yeah.
like, do you smoke weed? And everyone's like, we're at EGLX, sir. Like, this is not the place where you're gonna peddle that marijuana.
I'm just offering weed to everybody that I see. And then eventually there's a best friend who was like waiting outside for us. Because he was like, yeah, I couldn't get to the meet and greet in time. Can I get a photo?
And he walks out. He's just like, yeah, man, let's take a picture. Want some weed?
Yeah, I was like, "Do you want some weed?" Because a best friend gave me some. I don't smoke, and he was like, "No, but I got a buddy of mine who does." I was like, "All right, perfect." So I pedaled off the weed. It was great, but there was a lot of cocaine in there, and I called the cops on him. Got him
Yeah,
arrested.
definitely
yeah.
get him arrested.
Yeah,
Great. end.
My other favorite part of the weekend was that we are leaving the convention. Our panel at 7:30 went till about 8:10, 8:15. And at that point, they were like, we need to get everyone out of here. It's that, like, hey, it's done for the day. Get the hell out. So we said thanks to everyone. And as we're leaving, Craig from Screw Attack was there. Like, he was
Game Attack.
Game Attack, excuse me, was running the show. And he was like, hey, what are you guys doing for dinner? We're like, we'll figure something out. We're thinking pizza right now. We don't know. And as we're walking up the escalator, we look back, and James and Elise are right behind us, like, trying to catch up to us. And they were like, listen, we are really thinking about going to Benihana. How do you feel about that?
I'm so jealous.
And I was like, we were thinking pizza because people keep mentioning pizza. And you're at a convention, so it like kind of goes, hand in hand. I want
we
pizza.
wanted to go to the same pizza spot you, me, and Greg went to, Tim, where
Get Well.
where it was that
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bar,
yeah.
but the pizza
Yeah.
had like sesame seeds, and it was super fucking good.
was dope.
Yeah,
And it continues the trend of every single time people get me hyped to eat a carb, no one lets me have the carb.
Except
but
the
we were
time
like,
in Austin when you tried to get everyone to get pizza.
And then what
you
happened,
just
Joe?
left. You just left?
no, that's not what happened.
You left?
That's not what happened. That was the second time. Yeah, that is what happened. I'm sorry, you're right. The year prior to that, though, Remember, we were like, we are finally going to get Nick via 313. And Joey
Why did I
orders
bring
the
this
Uber,
up?
and Joey gets us the via 313. And as I look over, I'm like, motherfucker, all of the chairs are on top of the tables. It's closed. And she goes, oh, it said it was open. And I was like, between you looking at the website and the Uber, I'm like, did you notice that these two have different addresses? And she's like, I don't know, man. I don't see things like addresses or the size of screens.
Listen,
I've never had via 313.
I get it.
Long story short, we go to Benihana, which Greg had never been to.
That. Oh my god!
And it was hilarious. And then afterward, we went back to the hotel to grab a quiet drink with just James and Elise because I haven't seen him forever. And we talked about movies for like 5 hours in this hotel. And it was hilarious because obviously Elise and to a degree James are really into Lord of the Rings. And of course, anytime anyone mentions Lord of the Rings, I got to start shitting on them. So we start shitting on that.
No, I was talking about. We were talking about something, and Elise out of nowhere. Elise is a couple glasses of wine, in, and she goes, "Why does everybody at your office hate Lord of the Rings?"
Yeah,
and she's just like in the most like honest, like I'm pissed off for you sort of way. And I go, "I don't know, Elise. It's fucking insufferable."
So in an attempt for me to be like, let's go across the aisle from the clerk's Lord
no,
of the
he
Rings
just
aisle.
lies. He just
No, in the attempt to go across the aisle, I was like, well, we could all at least agree that it's not as fucking bad as that abomination Speed Racer. Thinking that'll get a laugh.
Are you
because
serious?
anyone in their right mind would hate that fucking movie, right? And James goes, "How dare you?" And then it was like,
telling
"Oh
you.
my!" I was like, so I thought I was putting the fire out,
No.
and the thing that said water was gasoline. And he was like, "He's like, you don't understand. You just don't get the movie." He was like, "You don't understand what they were trying to accomplish. How amazing it is. It's the only film that's ever really come close to being an anime." He's like, "The races, even though it's crazy and chaos colors, you know exactly where all those cars are." I was like, "No, you don't."
Yes,
And
you
then
do.
we started getting super angry at each other. And then I was like, "Well," I was like, "What are you going to tell me next? Like, you don't like Mission Impossible?" He goes, "Do you not like Mission Impossible?" I was like, "I fucking love Mission Impossible." He goes, "I love Mission Impossible." I'm like, "We're friends again."
That's what it is. We just
That
bonded
is
for another hour
de-escalated.
about Mission
And
Impossible.
then to the point where he texts Andy to text me that Mission Impossible 4 was on TV.
Oh my god! I
Well,
love it.
yeah, the first time in the hotel,
so fun.
I was like, chilling in the hotel. I was like, oh, screw it. And I was like, oh, Rogue Nation is on. This is no, MI3 was on because the last time we were in Toronto, Rogue Nation was on
Yeah.
TV. And I'm scrolling through the channels and I see MI3 is on. Philip Seymour Hoffman's fucking killing
So
him. Like,
good.
God damn, he's so good in this movie. And I'm loving MI3. We get back after the song discussion. We're all drunk about Mission Impossible. Get back to the hotel, and then James sends me a selfie with him in front of a TV with MI3 is on. I was like, oh my god! And then he texts, and guess what? Ghost Protocol's next. I'm like, oh my god! I love it. So I stayed up until like 4 in the morning watching Ghost
That's-
Protocol.
Did
What
Rogue
a-
Nation
what a
come on
movie.
after? We'll have to find out in a second. Let me tell you about our sponsors. Did it come on after?
It did not come after.
Yeah.
no.
It's one of those things
People
that, like,
waited for that.
So we were like walking for dinner first, and the conversation was so fun, and I didn't have the heart to tell everyone because they were like, "Let's go to a bar, let's keep this going," and I'm like, because we're gonna walk in and it's gonna be so loud and it's gonna break the mood. And we walked into like the Loose Moose, which we had been to before, but it's a sports bar and it's loud as fuck. And I'm like, what if we just went back to the hotel?
The
bar?
great thing though,
and it was so quiet and so lovely, and then we just
Was
talked
that
for like
DJ there?
6 hours.
Was it the same hotel?
No, we
no,
were-
different hotel.
we were- yeah.
The great thing though is that everybody, I feel like everybody in that group had the same vibe. We walked into this loud bar and immediately were like,
Nope.
it's too loud. Let's go down. What about the downstairs place? They're like, oh, it's about the same thing. It's just like they're playing loud,
It's more
fucking-
of the same thing, yeah.
They're playing loud music and it's just, it's going to be impossible to have a conversation. And I'm always the one that's like, I don't want to be in these situations, but everybody was that person, and it was
Oh no!
awesome.
The second they walked in, I was like, I'm gonna have one drink and then leave because
Yeah.
I just don't have any patience for. You're in a bar, you're trying to hang. The whole point of being in a bar is hang out, and they fucking make the music so loud that you can't even hear yourself think. I just don't understand why we as a culture accept this. It's
yeah.
unacceptable.
No one likes it either.
Nobody
That's
likes
the
it.
problem.
No one likes it. Unless you were like at a dance club where you have to hear the fucking music to dance. Other than that, just turn it down. Why? It doesn't matter. It's just background filler.
Benihana though, god damn.
I didn't think the food was that good though.
Oh my god, what'd you get?
I got the steak. I got the teriyaki steak.
And what?
I don't know, whatever the fuck came with it.
Oh, man,
Rice
I always
and
get
some
steak and
veggies
shrimp, dude.
There was a couple shrimps.
God damn. Oh, they give you
But I
like
also
3
sat,
complimentary
I
shrimp.
did the thing where I
No, you
sat
need
next
all
to
of it.
Elise where I was like, oh, I'm just going to order this thing. And then I ate all of her food. because she doesn't eat anything.
It
She
was
ate, like, half her
so
food. I was like,
good.
give me all the
Like
shrimp.
it was exactly what I needed in that moment, and it was Greg and Elise's first time being at a hibachi place
It's
where they
magical,
cook in front of
dude.
you.
It's
Yeah,
fucking perfect.
Now this guy about 80% effort though.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
no.
We're at the end of the night. He's rushing through it.
He
man.
had the funniest joke though, where we're like, "Oh, it's our first time here," and he goes, "Oh, really? It's my first time too." And I was like, "That's a good
That's
fucking
good.
joke,
That's real
buddy."
good.
And so he did the volcano stuff, right? He did the
Video of it with Nick so excited in the background was my favorite.
But the thing he didn't do is that, like, towards the end of it, like, we didn't get shrimp thrown at our face, right? When you catch
put it
the
in his
shrimp.
hat?
No, there was none of that. And then, like, towards the end of the whole process, we're winding down, and I'm just like, wow, this wasn't as, like, hype as I hoped it would be. And the table over, giant blaze of fire, and they're like, whoa! Whoa!
Like, we got the guy that was like, this is my last week.
Yeah.
And they got the guy that was like, I'm starting my career.
He
here
had
at Benihana.
senioritis, our
Yeah,
guy,
that guy
you know.
did, yeah. I'm so
He
sorry,
did
guys.
a majority of the things, but he didn't even do the thing where he put all the
volcano?
steamed rice in with the little heartbeat.
Oh man, come
You
on,
know, he
guys.
didn't do any of that.
You know what
man.
else was the killer though? Is we saw the table as we were sitting down. The table across from us, you know how they're kind of like a square, and the guy stands in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Of the table across from us was getting ice cream scoops, and I had it in my brain. I was like,
I didn't see
this
that.
must be one of those places where every dish comes with ice cream at the end. And I don't know why I thought that. Nowhere on the menu did it say that. But you know what I mean? Like when you go to like El Torito or whatever, and you're like, oh, by the way, everything.
Spaghetti
Yeah, Spaghetti
Factory.
Factory. That's what it is. And everything comes with a scoop of spumoni or like Neapolitan ice cream. I'm like, this is gonna be great. And then at the end, she brings the check, and I was like, do we not get ice cream? And then Greg's like, I don't want any ice cream. I was like, well, we don't even get ice cream. We didn't get the heartbeat. We didn't get the mountain thing thrown at my face. We didn't get the ice cream. This is
What's the
bullshit.
point?
Bullshit.
It was so good though, man.
I went
was
to
alright.
Shabu House last night, and that ends with some
so
ice
good.
cream.
Does it?
It was good.
Which
Green
Shabu
tea.
House did you go to?
The one on Clement Street, but
Okay.
the same brand as the one here, like a block away from your house.
I don't like that shabu. The thing about
You
shabu,
don't like it?
I know I said I do like the shabu, but the thing about it is that you just feel like you're eating forever and never full, which is why I like it.
I do not feel like
Yeah,
that.
me. I'm the opposite. Where I've hit a
just keep
point
going.
that I'm like, I need to get regular, not large. I don't need large.
Really?
Yeah.
We got when I went to Brennan's birthday party, we got the all you can eat, and we just kept ordering, and I just kept eating, and I was like, I'm never full, and then I
The
threw
all you
of
can
it up.
eat, pretty fantastic deal. All said and done.
It's a good deal, but it's
$40
like,
per person.
Yeah.
Unlimited food and drink.
yeah. Except the drinks always either I think it's usually beer. And I don't
Well,
don't like beer.
it's Asian beer or
yeah,
Asian.
it's like a
Sake?
like
Soju?
Yeah, soju and all that stuff.
yeah, not
Which-
into it.
Sake will fuck you up.
Sake fucked me up. I told you the story the last time we went for Brennan's birthday party, right? Mm-hmm. Where I went there and the guy's like, "Would you like some sake?" And Fran's like, "Do you have the demon's head?" The guy's like, "Of course we do."
God,
The
he's-
guy's like, "I would like the demon's head."
the most
And I was like,
Fran thing I've ever
I was
heard.
like, "Why the fuck do you know sake? Like, why do you know sake? What is so? You're so fucking weird."
Do you
all
have
time.
the demon's
It was
head?
like some specific. I'm sure it's a very common kind of sake that I just don't know about because I'm an idiot.
I'm sure it's
But
not.
Fran was like, "Do you have the 16-ounce demon head?" And the guy's like, "I'm sorry, sir. We only have the 24-ounce demon head." And Fran's like, "That was a test, and you passed. Bring the 24-ounce demon's head or whatever that is."
Another fun that, like, again, in our long discussion with James and Lise, we also
Yeah.
like explained to them who Fran is.
Yeah. Yeah. So two things that happened with Elise, and I'm not betraying her confidence by saying this because I'm sure she would love for me to pass the compliment on. She loves Cool Greg
So much.
so much, just unabashedly.
I know.
Just loves him, like in a real way, not in like it's Twitter and this will be funny, but I'm like it's endearing. Like legitimately thinks Cool Greg might be a genius and like a beautiful, beautiful human being. And then also after we described Fran, she was like, "I must meet him.
Oh my god.
I must spend
I
time
want
There's
with him."
nothing. Yeah, I would love to see more than Fran.
But so I said to her, and I was like, I'll be honest with you, I've known Fran for like 12 years.
Once you, once you open that door,
Once you open the door.
there's no closing it.
No, the
man.
best
It
thing was
is.
Nick going, he's a boner. And I was like, that's the perfect word.
He's not. But it's like, but Fran is just I mean, everyone's seen him at this point in our content.
They know him
He's
well.
just a very eccentric human being to the point where he's a guy that like, I'm an anal retentive person. Like if you say, Nick, there's 3 options ahead of you for this thing that you can buy, I will research every single part of that option because I want to make sure I get the right thing. That to me, and I'm aware that I'm crazy while I'm doing it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's a fucking like pop socket. It doesn't matter what it is, but I need to know that. Fran will research who made the originally pop sockets, where the name pop socket comes from, who Mr. Pop Socket was, and whether or not that person like had kids. He'll go all the way back.
Oh,
into
he
it.
had a divorce.
Way
I don't
too
know
much
about
detail.
that.
Oh, well, I don't support that, Mr. Pop Socket.
I remember. So at one of our friends, Eric's 30th birthday, a giant sleepover over in like the fucking woods
Yeah.
somewhere in the north. And we're all there in this giant house. And Fran, God, so many Fran stories from this one weekend. But Fran tells everyone, he's like, hey, guys, like, I'm really good at making coffee. And we're all like, all right. and he's just like, who wants coffee tomorrow morning? And we're like, sure, let's do it. Fran spends an hour grinding beans.
Yep.
Like, doing things that I've never seen a human being do to make coffee. It's like, all right, you're doing this manually, I guess.
I just
the
picture like
entire
Salt
process.
Bay. I picture like Salt Bay.
He does this whole fucking thing, and then he gives us coffee. And sure, it was good coffee, but just the idea of him making this was so fucking funny. Later that night, he goes, guys, I'm going to make my family sauce for the pasta that we're making.
I bet it was good.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
What was more amazing was the 4 hours of seeing him put things together and shaking them and just like going full in his hair, just going crazy. He would have to take breaks to go redo his hair. So like, because everyone was like filming him and shit.
He's legitimately one of my favorite people.
And this night ends. This night
love having
ends.
him around.
I must have told this story on the show before, but this fucking night ends. I'm not lying. All of us, had nice dinner, a little tipsy. We're all in this giant living room in like a cabin. And Fran just like walks out of the room. We don't know where he's going. We don't know what the fuck he's doing. He comes back with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, he does.
And there was so many. Me and Alfredo like looked at each other and just started dying because it's like we are miles and miles away from San Francisco.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
You don't drive, friend. Like, I don't know how you got here, but you decided to bring the stuff to make coffee, the stuff to make your sauce, and an acoustic guitar.
One of my favorite things that's happened in this office in the last 5 years, since we moved in, 3 years, whatever, is that Andy never practiced it. We just like to screw around with the guitar sometimes. And Andy put the guitar on a seat and went back to watch Terminator 2, or one of the Terminators, because we had to watch it for in-review. And I hear this. I don't see it. I hear it. Fran gets off the set to whatever the game sale, that's what it was. Walks over, sees the guitar, picks it up, strums it, just strums one chord, goes, wow, this is really out of tune. Puts it down, and then a perfect comedic beat. And Cool Greg goes, damn, bro.
Like, it was so perfect.
Like to the point where I was like, there was something behind that damn bro, Cool Greg. Like he was he was defending your honor.
Like he wasn't offended for you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
God, I love it.
I appreciate the hell out of that.
Because
Because you and I are rehearsing this thing, and it was like we were rehearsing all morning.
and probably
kind of.
annoying the shit out of Cool Greg in the process.
Sure, yeah.
Because we were like singing along and joking around and laughing. But
That's
Cool Greg,
so funny.
Even in spite of the fact that we had spent the entire morning annoying him, he still came to defend your honor. It's like, damn, bro.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Can we put Cool Greg, Elise, and Fran in a room and just see what happens?
Oh, man, dude. That sounds like a fun party.
Oh my
That would be-
god, I don't even know what that would turn into.
Fran and Cool Greg together is already gold. Like, every time I see them interact, like, they both just don't know how to deal with each other. Like, more so than I think any combination of people in the office. Like, there's something about both of their energies where Greg is just how he is with everyone, but I feel like with Fran, more than anyone, he's kind of just like, hey, whatever you want, man. Like, I'm just
because
here,
like
whatever.
they don't understand the dynamic.
But no one else has the needs that Fran does. Fran always needs something. There's always a question. Things always need to be answered for him.
and that's the thing. The thing about Cool Greg is that he's actually a very, very like empathetic person. Like he wants to understand whatever it is you're doing, and he's afraid that maybe he's not doing that because he doesn't want to offend you, right? Like I've had multiple times where I'll say something and he's not sure if it's a joke or not, and he doesn't know how to react because he doesn't want to offend me. Even though he was like, I'm 95, you know what I mean? Like he'll look at you like, I'm 95% sure Nick's fucking around right now, but if there's a 5% chance that he's being real with me, like I want to take that into consideration. But with Fran, there's so much more information being thrown at him that it's just like I don't know how to deal with Fran. I've been his fucking friend for 12 years. I can't even imagine what goes through Cool Greg's head.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where like just watch the animal in the room and back away slowly and maintain eye contact, you know?
So much
God bless
variable
him.
with Fran.
I love him so much. Yeah, that was fun. And that was funny because Elise was getting a little hammered and tired. And she was just like, I want to hang out with Fran. And then went back to sleep. I was like, all right, we'll make this happen.
I love that his name's Fran. I love
Francis
it so much.
Conner, man. That's what we used to call him. The Franimal.
Franimal.
Yeah. He's so good.
All of these franecdotes.
Oh, shit.
They're so great.
Phrenologies.
Wow.
Oh,
A lot of good stuff here. A lot of
I
good
know.
stuff here.
I know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, We can go a little bit longer.
Ask a question.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
get some questions. That just felt like a good end.
That was a good end.
But no, we're gonna
Totally.
keep going here. You can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny and write questions in that we will get to on this beautiful show. Randy Pruitt says it's Halloween and you haven't gotten any candy.
No.
You are your current age. There are 3 kids in front of you. One has a bag of Reese's Cups. The other has a bag of Kit Kats. And the last has a bag of Snickers. Which kid do you absolutely mangle and take their bag?
Well, we already know this answer.
I mean,
from
it's
us.
so. Not only do we know this answer from KFAF, we know this answer from The Office right now. And no, actually, I didn't watch that KFAF, so I don't know what your answer was. What was it?
Well, you have to watch to find out. But it was Snickers bars.
So,
Oh,
so
what?
Snickers-
Now here's why I'm pissed. I got outvoted. I wanted it to be Reese's peanut butter cups.
It
okay?
is. I
vote
But Andy
Snickers.
was like,
Snickers.
Andy goes, oh, it's Snickers. And then
No,
everyone came
no, I
in,
haven't.
oh, we love Snickers. We love Snickers more than anything. Reese's peanut butter cups are garbage. I
Nobody
challenge
ever said
any of
that.
you motherfuckers to walk back to the
Yeah.
7 bags of candy that are
Yeah.
back there and find me a fucking
Find
Reese's peanut butter
one
cup.
Reese's
They're all
peanut butter
gone.
cup.
Is it because I ate them
Yes.
all? Is it because I bought way more
That's
Snickers
what
than I
it
needed
is.
to? Yeah,
That's what it
maybe.
is.
But there's a lot of Snickers and Milky Ways back there, so you guys better get eating. And
Gia came here a
buy
couple
Daddy's
days
Reese's
ago,
peanut butter cups.
walks in, sees the bags of candy, and is just like, holy shit.
You get excited 'cause
And
you know there's gonna be
then
Reese's there.
She came to me later, was just like, she's like, you know what's fucking bullshit?
Yeah.
Like, Halloween candy doesn't come with Reese's anymore. And I'm like, yeah, it does. And she's like, no, I looked in all the bags. I'm like, they're just all gone. Like,
Yeah.
but they did come with it.
They
But
did.
like,
I'm telling you right now that they're always the first to go. Now, again, I will be willing to
That's a
concede
few,
the fact. I'll be willing to concede the fact that for whatever reason in these bags, there were more Snickers than there were like the ratio of
The
bags that
Snickers
have
are
Snickers in
better.
them. No, I think they're just cheaper to make and fill
I
it.
don't think
No,
got more stuff
I love
in
them. I love them both. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love.
Oh,
Reese's
I do
peanut
too.
butter.
I'm splitting hairs. I ate 5 Snickers bars this morning. I was like, no Reese's peanut
I just
Snickers.
prefer I prefer the crunch of a
It's
Snickers.
all about the texture.
See,
Yeah.
I like to suck
I like to suck
the
on that
fucking
peanut
cup
butter
into my
cup.
mouth.
God,
and
you're
just
so
go like
gross.
I like to be a
I like
dog with just peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suck it in until
You
it's
guys
like
need to
until
live.
it's like 2-dimensional. That's how hard I suck it.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Someone clip that out.
Yeah. So yeah, we realized that like we just don't really love Kit Kat anymore.
Kit Kats just went downhill. I don't know
It's
why,
very fine.
but I think they changed the chocolate mixture or something because they just don't taste like.
If you
anything
look at the
anymore.
top 10, I think we had it like at 8 or
I think
7.
we,
I don't
and
know.
I'll be honest with you, Andy, and I think we both understand this, even though it was unsaid, is that we kept it on there for the legacy reasons.
Yeah.
But it did not deserve to be on that
Yeah,
list.
Kit Kat, I agree. It went downhill. The one that pains me to say, I think is pretty low tier, is just the Hershey bar in general.
so
It's
low.
not even
now,
on the list.
Get it out
can I
here.
tell you how I you're not eating it right.
No.
You got to put it in your pocket for
Not
about 15
again.
minutes,
God.
and then take it out, and then
We
Are you
did
gonna
this
do
on the
hand
show.
motions for it?
We did this on the show. He put a Hershey bar in his pocket, and we had to remember at the end to pull it out. And then
was
I
liquefied.
proceeded to suck from this wet
God
Hershey.
Damn.
You just like unpeeled it.
It was so
very
gross.
it's kind of like when a kid poops his pants. You're just like, whoa, there's a lot in there.
It was horrible. It was,
it.
it was horrible.
was
Yeah, no,
God.
the standard Hershey's get out of here.
I will
We
say
need
this.
something more.
The
I
one
don't
that
think-
the one that really got me though, that I was like, oh man, I forgot how good these were. The Crunch bars. I don't know why I love
Yeah.
those so much.
No, they're great because they have what the Hershey's are missing, which is some type of fun texture.
Texture.
Yeah, a few textures.
And I
So
said-
then wait, if you like the texture, why are you anti-Snickers?
No, I'm not anti-Snickers.
nobody's anti. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's-
Nobody's anti-Snickers.
Yeah,
I was
no
just-
one
I'm
is anti-Snickers.
clarifying here.
Listen, I don't want there to be like on my official wiki like he's anti-Snickers. No.
Someone please put it
Change
on.
that right
I have, I have had my fair share of Snickers. Here's what I will say though. I will say, and this is gonna be a hot, controversial take. Joey, put your mic down because I want to hear what your response to this. I don't like the mini Snickers,
Those
the
are
ones
the
that are
best
squares.
ones.
Joey, put your mic down.
Oh, the really mini ones?
I don't like those.
Yeah, no.
I like because you know why?
It's too much crust.
Too much crust.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. Because I want a little bit of crust. a
What do we
bite,
do here?
But then I also want to have a
This
second
is
bite.
this is now multiple pieces of content across multiple shows where this discussion is
This is what people care about, man.
Seriously, I love
This is what
it.
people care about. I'm going to the fucking store today, and I'm going to get more Reese's peanut butter cups.
Let me go back
And I'm gonna send some
to,
to Gia.
to the Hershey thing. Is I feel like there are a lot of points that have been made by people that come from across the pond that are like American chocolate just is not that good, and I kind of agree. because
agree.
I've tasted like chocolate from overseas, and it's just there's a better, richer taste.
There was someone that
Hershey's
brought us a Cadbury candy at the meet and greet, and I hadn't eaten breakfast. I was like, I have to eat this. I don't care if this guy poisoned this. I have to eat it.
Oh,
And
it's
it
the
was
one,
fucking good.
It was the one in the yellow wrapper.
Yeah.
It was like a
Vanderbilt something.
I forgot. It was so good. Oh my god, this would have been the top 3, top 5
would have been top
maybe.
3, yeah.
But Kevin, what were you about to say right now?
I was just gonna say Hershey's candy when it was engineered was made to not be amazing.
What do you mean?
They made it as a military ration.
Oh.
Oh, it was
And,
like
they
the-
didn't
yeah.
want them people eating it right away. So after
Huh.
World War II, they started like selling it.
Meanwhile, peanut butter
Interesting.
cups were made to make people happy.
Yeah, peanut butter cups.
No,
Peanut butter
I-
cup. Someone went to
Oh,
heaven
yeah.
and was like, "This is great. They have this amazing thing," and then they
But
shocked them back to
peanut butter
life.
cups have the same crust issue that the mini Snickers do.
But I'm willing to forgive those, and here's why: because the mini ones, you turn them upside down, you just eat them, you throw at the top.
You throw the top part of
Fuck
kids.
yeah, you know it doesn't matter. Fuck you, kid. Go get daddy another beer. No, I will say I like the minis a lot more, like the individual, the smaller ones a lot more than I do the Snickers minis. But I will, yeah, the perfect one is the individual cup.
Yeah.
Now it's weird though.
No. The perfect one is the fucking
king size? Yeah.
that
Yeah.
comes with 4 individual cups.
You need enough to the point where you're like, I don't want this.
and
last
honestly,
one, and
I
I'm gonna
think
eat
I
it.
think that number is 3. Like no human being has ever taken down a king size Reese's cup pack
And felt good about it. Yeah,
themselves.
no.
Me and
No.
Tyrute, when he used to live with me, when he decided he was like, "Can I crash on your couch for a few days?" and it ended up being 3 months. We had no money because we were both looking for jobs. This is right after college when I was living with another friend. He was very pissed that Ty was on our futon couch still. But all we could do is we had a Target that was in walking distance, so we would go over it. It was like Halloween time. I'll never forget this. And we would buy for like 2 for $4 bags of the individual snack size Reese's peanut butter cups, and we would just smoke cigarettes and eat Reese's peanut butter cups outside of a Target. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I'll never forget this one time my dad bought a bunch of different candies from a little fundraiser that some kid was selling at church. Some kid like, hey, I'm selling like bars of Snickers, and then we have
gonna say
a
soap.
king size Reese's, and it's all this shit. And this kid was selling. So my dad bought a bunch of candy from this little kid or whatever. And I'll never forget that. Like one time, I took the 4-piece of Reese's, and I took it to my I wasn't supposed to be eating it, and I took it to my closet and was just like
Oh my God.
secretly like downing this king size of Reese's. And I remember like my dad busting in the door and being like, "What are you doing in there?" I'm like,
Jack it off. Jack it off.
yeah, it was very, very scary. And I was like, man, I risked it all for that king size. You know?
Oh man, I don't know. It's so funny because you guys know me. Like I have a very delicate relationship when it comes to like sugar and things like that because I very much overdid it when I was a kid. But it's so funny how quickly I turned back to that sweet drug. Man, the second I was like, Andy was like, we should rank Halloween candy. I think maybe you
Joey.
suggested it like a month or 2 ago, and that's just been rattling around my head. And like subconsciously, I'm like, can't wait, Target, can't wait. And finally, I looked over and I saw. I had a crisis of conscience the other day when we were doing the Kit Kat ratings, because all the Halloween candy was out, and I was like, oh, I should get some American Kit Kats to work into this just to see how they work. But the Kit Kats were right next to the Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'm like, how do I rationalize
Not-
buying these cups? And I must have looked like a fucking crazy person because I picked them up and walked back, put them down, walked back, grab them, picked them up again. I was like, I heard you, wicked fucking temptress. Why do you have this hold on me? I put them down. Then I've got them.
Last question of the day comes from Ross Gates. Who would win the battle to the death? The Kind of Funny crew versus Pennywise, the dancing clown from It. Y'all are your current ages, but you had your first battle against Pennywise years ago, just like the losers. Who from Kind of Funny dies and who lives?
Oh my god!
I think we all die except for Kevin, and then Kevin becomes the new Pennywise. Because he is sort of like the Pennywise of our office anyway. You know,
Uh-huh.
where he just terrorizes us most of the time.
He'd survive.
He would definitely survive.
Who do I terrorize? Huh?
Joey sitting here.
All right. Oh,
Joey just does this.
And Tim. And Tim, I'm just terrorizing back because he's annoying me all day.
That's true. That's true.
I don't even know
That's
if I
how that
agree
starts.
with that.
I'm
Joey-
annoying him all day.
just by annoying, you mean just existing.
To the people at the table,
Just being a rude dick all the time.
I'm annoying him all day.
No, I think Kevin would survive because Kevin would actually figure out how to beat Pennywise. I think Tim would just give in. I'll be honest with you. Tim would be like, wait, at the physical effort, forget it.
The
and kill
only
me.
chance that I survive is if people are confident around me.
Yeah.
And I can just
Fill a role.
fill a role.
If I
You
can,
know what I mean?
if I can fill a role, if Joey's like, Andy, I need you to do this, and Kevin's like, and after you do that, I need you to do this. Like, you all need to be the leaders on this because I will not be. I will not be.
I think that it would go. I think that here's how I think it would go. Tim would immediately give up. Andy is a scaredy cat. No offense.
Yeah, I am.
But he would be screaming, and everyone would be like, "Let's use him as a diversion. We'll put him in the room. We'll turn the lights
be
off. He'll
bait.
just start screaming. Pennywise will go. Right
I don't even
for
think
him.
I'd be screaming. Like like
You just be in the corner.
You know?
I would just have this fear of like I'm breaking down right now. Like I would just rather just huddle in this corner and just take it. Yeah.
I would die because I'd be too busy and distracted arguing with Kevin over the best way to open a door. And then the thing would just sneak up and just stab me in the back of the thing. Joey would not even be in the situation to begin with. That's how smart she is. And then Kevin would
Because
figure out.
we'd roll up to the scary ass house and be like, nope, goodbye.
Kevin would find his like boyhood Leatherman that he'd lost forever. And he was like, oh shit, it's been here the whole time. And it has a Pennywise knife on it. And we just stab in the fucking face.
Yeah, and then done.
That'd be it.
Greg would be key in taking him down, but he would get taken down.
Yeah, Greg would die.
Yeah.
Greg would be the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, I feel like Cool Greg would survive.
No
Like
way.
they'd be boys somehow.
Well, Cool Greg's like this.
you
Cool
know
Greg's-
someone.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, what's up, man?
Cool Greg would be like, oh, I know this guy. Like, you know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're
Miller,
homies.
Miller would for sure survive. It would be Barrett that would die.
Oh, Barrett's dead.
Oh, yeah,
Barrett
Barrett
doesn't have
would
a fucking chance. No. Fran, we would kill because he'd be asking way too many questions.
Easy out
Be like,
too.
Fran-
You know, like what happened? Oh, fucking.
It's a good
Pennywise
excuse.
shot him in the back.
I'm like, wait,
God.
what kind of clown is he? Is he a circus clown? 'Cause I see the makeup right there, but that's from the 1930s. They say it was from the 1940s. You know what? I'm gonna go back and look up pop sockets and see where.
We're gonna be like,
Shoot him! Shoot him! I don't want to live. It's not worth it. Shoot him.
Pennywise, like he chopped off his head and he ate his whole torso, like to Fran. It really sucks. And they're like, but we just saw like a gunshot wound to the head. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, he looked fine except for a bullet to the back of the head, like when he wasn't looking. I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh man, you gotta love it.
So funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Thank you very much for joining us each and every week. Sometimes four best friends gather around this table to talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Patreon supporters, for helping make all this happen. Just thank you to everyone. You know what I mean? Even if you're not watching this, even if you're not listening to this, you're out there. You're living your life. One day, you'll turn to the right side.
Even to the one best friend who was like, God, I love you all. Greg, I've been listening to you since Beyond. Can I get a photo with you and Nick, but like not you, man? Sorry.
Was that a real thing that happened?
And I just stood there like, all right, cool.
Could not stop laughing about this. He was like, he didn't mean any offense by it. He was like, can I just get a picture?
He didn't mean any offense by
But he
it.
was like, can I get a picture with you, Greg, and Nick? And then it was a very awkward Pete. And he kind of looked over and realized, like, oh, Andy's here.
No,
what do I say?
it
And
was
he
more of a like,
Andy,
I
you
don't
might
know if
just-
I've really watched content with you sort of thing. You know, it was one of those
I feel
situations.
like that's fine. Though.
I feel like that happens
Yeah.
a lot. That happens tons. Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, when people walk up only to Greg and like, I've been listening to you since Beyond or
Yeah.
back in the day or whatever.
Here's my thing with that.
It happens
Whatever,
occasionally.
live your life, do your
Sure.
fucking thing, and fine, whatever. That to me is only appropriate if it's a targeted Greg thing, or if you have a story that is so connected to one person that you're just like, Andy, your story about whatever helped me through this thing. I want to take a picture with you. Cool. Just
To like
to get you out of
out.
it. No.
The worst part was
like-
I didn't have my phone with me, so I just stood there like I couldn't even like.
And meanwhile, I'm like this. Oh, did you get the picture? Take one more. Take one more. Are you sure you got it? You know, come in. Check it the other way. Take it the other. Andy's over there like, God damn it. Couldn't it be? Oh, God. So funny.
Thanks,
So
Stay
man.
good.
tuned for the post show.
Did you guys see that picture I posted of me sitting on the Xbox throne, pushing the button?
Yeah.
Did you hear the story behind that?
no.
So annoying.
So we go to Greg sees it, goes, oh, I want a picture there, right? We wait in line for a second, and basically, if you hit the button, it's a randomized. That's the third one right there. If you hit the button, it's randomly. If it flashes, you get like 14 days free of Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
Right. So this guy goes up first, hits it, nothing happens. His girlfriend, they trade, whatever. She goes, takes a picture of it. He hits it, nothing happens. Greg walks up like king big shit, sits down in it. He hits it, nothing happens. And I was like, okay. And I go over and I go sit in the chair.
Of
and
course.
And I look at Andy. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't care if I get this, but I know that if I press this button right now and it lights up, Andy will be so annoyed that I will. It's just like it'll make the trip. And I hit the button, And sure as shit,
I hate it.
and I just looked at Andy,
How
and he
do you
goes,
do
"You
it?"
motherfucker!"
Me and Greg just look, and we're like,
Motherfucker.
he can't keep getting away with it. Like, it's just like God. It's so
Every
like
time.
It was
How
so
is
fun.
it possible?
That was a fun one too. If you scroll over, you can see the full. You can show everyone the trophy that the guy won. No, in those, it's the picture set. That's the trophy right there. It was really fun. We had a good battle royale.
And this idea was all Greg, by the way. Like this was it's Greg had a lot to do with the idea of him being in the background and just like two guys taking a cool photo set.
Sure, that's what we'll say.
Two dudes being bros.
Yeah, because it's just we just had a good time. Just
We had a
two
great
pals,
time.
two pals
Just
in
two guys who
Toronto.
hung out.
I love the one at the restaurant though.
It's so good.
The restaurant one is
Up,
in the bluish
the
looking
blue-
one,
the
Kevin.
that's like purplish.
Like,
You guys are dicks.
and every caption is just like couple of pals hanging out. Fun is only had in pairs.
God bless it.
We talked about this when a bunch of us hung out on Saturday, and we talked about your
It's so
Instagram
annoying.
presence.
Can you bring up
this weekend.
Chaka?
Yeah, sure.
God, it was so fun. It was a good time. Shout out to Toronto, by the way. It's a beautiful city. Every time I go there, I'm like, I really should carve out an extra day to hang
Yeah,
out here.
it's
But
really
it is
nice
fucking
here.
cold, and my hands are dry, so I went home. Bad news bears.
Cameron Kennedy says KF all dies besides Cool Greg and Kevin. Yeah, that's smart. That's a smart call.
Kevin becomes
don't
Milk Mommy
disagree.
and scares Pennywise. That's accurate.
Pennywise.
Pennywise. I don't know.
Let's see. Tony Tran says, "What is everyone's fears that Pennywise uses?"
What is his fears?
Like,
Oh,
like-
I know exactly what it is. I walk into the office and there's so much clutter that I just can't get in the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is my nightmare.
Yeah, mine is.
Nobody notices. Everyone walks by us. Nobody just, oh, well, there's not that much clutter. It's like, I can't get through the door. And everyone's like, it's fine. We'll just work outside. And it's cold and rainy.
Damn.
Mine is Fed loan, and they're like, oh, we forgot that you have like this other loan that we just haven't even been
Were
charging
you aware
for.
that you were going to 2 colleges at once?
Yeah.
Here's your second
Sorry, here
student
you go.
loan.
Here's this other
Gosh.
big chunk.
God, I can't believe it. That's got to suck. That feeling of never being able to dig yourself out of that.
So
it's
it's so fun.
horrible. That's
I
why
just-
I
Really
went. I went to a UC, and it wasn't that expensive, thank God. But I thought about going to USC. I was like, oh, I should transfer to USC to be real. I'm so fucking glad I didn't do that. Would have been like 200 grand.
The funniest thing is, like, I'm on the pay as you earn plan because it just makes your payment way lower.
Should I pay you less? Should we pay you less to lower the
Yeah,
payment?
pay me less. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. And as they're paying, so you have to reapply every year. And I've been doing this since I guess 6 months after you graduate, and it's always been like, if I didn't do it, it'd be the payment would be way the fuck up there. So they're like, you're reapplying for pay as you earn. Has your pay changed in the last year? And I was like, no. And they're like, all right, cool. And usually I'm just like used to it being the same price. And they're like, all right, $80 more. But like, how? You know, like,
But
how?
what's crazy is like, I mean, are you going to be able to pay them off
No.
ever?
No.
What is the point?
Waiting for Bernie or Elizabeth Warren.
Just to wipe
God,
it all
Cancel
out.
for that.
I hope so badly. That'd be great.
Do you have loans too?
Oh yeah,
God, it's crazy to me.
it's dumb. I went to
Later,
private school.
Dim.
Why
Take
did
it
I
easy,
do
man.
that?
Where'd you go?
I went to private school. Why did I do that?
What
That
school?
was dumb.
What school? I thought you went to Irvine. No, you
I
lived
went to
in Irvine.
Vanguard,
Oh, you went to Vanguard.
Costa Mesa, baby.
Yeah, that was one of the very, like, I love my mom to death because she is the most realist fucking person you'll ever meet. My mom does not do that thing where people will go like, oh, I'll placate this a little bit or I'll like sugarcoat this for you. She was like, you don't need to go to a private school. I was like, but mom, my future. She's like, your future be damned.
But Mom, my future.
I'm paying for this. I'm taking these loans out. I'm helping you out with this shit. You're going to a fucking UC at max UC. She would have preferred if I went to the JC, but what are you going to do?
JC.
Crafton College in Riverside. Is that what it is?
No, I would have gone to Riverside RCC, Riverside Community College. I would have go Marching Tigers.
Crafton
Ignacio
might be
Ross says, Tim, what are your
Red
thoughts on
Lions.
SF State? It's fine. Like, I feel like SF State has fine programs for things. The bigger issue, though, is that there's no culture. Like, it's not a college
commuter
thing.
school.
It's a commuter
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a couple weird dorms. They're not even dorms. It's apartments that are around the school. And, like, people will get those. But, like, the parties aren't super cool or fun. It all just feels like pretend. Like, it feels like not like a
That was
real
you just
experience.
described UC Irvine to a T, where it was like the RA, the guy that was like in charge of the dorm, was like trying to get us all to like cohesively party and hang out. And we were like, we don't want any part of this.
Yeah,
This is sad.
The campus itself is pretty dope.
Yeah, it's cool. Good
like,
I
location.
feel like it gets cooler and cooler every year.
Yeah, it's like they have some pretty cool
They got like a
things.
giant ass gym in the back.
There's a
with,
big
like,
gym. There's a
swimming
giant
pool now.
arcade.
That's cool.
What?
No,
Why'd you look shocked?
I forgot about the arcade. Till
Yeah,
right
it was like
now.
a legit giant
It
arcade.
had
It was-
Tekken 6 before. Like,
Tekken 6, and it was the only arcade in America to have Street Fighter 4 when it first came out.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal to
didn't
my
it also
friends.
have Killer Queen?
I mean, it has Killer Queen now. Yeah.
Later,
but,
Robin
like,
Jill.
when it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited for
You're
Extra
chewing
Life?
my foot.
Yes, but no, because it's
it's
another
on the
like
other side.
hectic weekend.
It's a lot, man.
I'm always excited when I'm actually doing Extra Life, but leading up to it, I know that it's a weekend where it's going to be a lot.
When is that?
Next weekend.
The second.
Next weekend?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, if any of you guys are in Fargo, North Dakota, come out this
Yeah,
weekend.
what the fuck is this all about? I was like, I was so like out of nowhere to just see like, oh, Joey's gonna be in Minnesota. Like, why? When?
Because we're going to do some fun Extra Life stuff with, I think I can say this, Microsoft.
That's cool.
In their Fargo, North Dakota campus. So we're doing a meet and greet on Friday from 7 to 10 at a place that I will post about because I don't remember off the top of my head. And then we're doing a stream on Saturday.
Wait,
Are you worried that like your flights will be canceled a bunch because of snow and stuff?
There's no snow forecast. It's just supposed to be cold as shit. It's supposed to be like 60 degrees on Saturday, though.
Hey, wait, real
Which isn't
quick.
that bad.
It's not next weekend. It's the weekend after next, right? Just to be clear.
Well, so we have this weekend.
It's next weekend.
and then
No,
it's-
next weekend is this Friday.
No, that's this weekend.
Right? No, that's the next weekend.
No,
It can also be
This is a
called
thing.
this weekend.
This
We
is
use not
Kevin.
arcade.
No, I'm serious. I've never referred to.
We're doing something. When? This weekend. We're doing something. When? Next weekend.
I'm with Kevin on this one. I
Alright,
think you
thank
can
you,
use
Nick.
next weekend.
It's a this or
if
next?
it's Monday, I could be like next weekend.
Yeah.
Is I would say it could be used, but traditionally he's right. They would think this weekend or next weekend. Next weekend usually is the following weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, but I'm with Kevin. I feel like it's like literally where it can mean both literally and the opposite. You know, Toby Freeman asks, "How long will Nick last?" I don't know. I got to wrap my head around that. I'm gonna try to go hard this weekend, this next weekend, whatever the fuck we
You
just
think it's
decided.
tough?
yeah.
But I don't know, man.
First
It's
weekend
hard.
of November.
I'm getting up there to put in 24 hours. I don't know if I can
Yeah.
do that anymore.
Someone has to carry the weight because Tim's not going to be there.
Is Tim not going to be there?
Tim's not going to be there for a good chunk of it. Tim has a wedding.
Tim, you got
only
another
thing-
fucking wedding next weekend?
Dude, yeah, I do.
Good for you. Lucky you.
No,
Tim, you
not
need
one.
How about
less
this? I'll
friends.
trade you. I'll go to your wedding. You can do Extra Life for 19
I would
hours.
much rather do Extra Life. 100%. At least it's fun hanging out with people I actually like.
That's fair.
Weddings are like, great. I'm here.
How much did you hang out with Jackie Hollywood last weekend?
I hung out with Jackie Hollywood a lot.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Do we have the starting time for Extra Life? People are
10 a.m.
10 a.m. 10 to 10.
10
to
to 9.
10
Because
to
it's the time
Daylight
change.
savings.
No, next Saturday.
I hate that it's always on the time change weekend because I
know.
always love that for me time.
Fall back.
You get
I
an
always
extra
love it.
hour just to hang out with yourself.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
delay the time change for a week if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah.
That's fine. Andy just comes. Everything he does is an hour later.
Yeah, I'll
Like
wait.
Andy,
I'll
just-
wait to do the time change for the following week after Extra
Yeah,
Life,
great.
and I'll do like November 10th,
Mm-hmm.
so I can just for me.
Is he Toby's question? Update on WWE in review? Cool. Greg laughs and walks out.
What does that even mean?
I think there's been scheduling issues with James, but they're working on it.
One James Burke. Classic.
Jessica Cooks says, is in review for Terminator Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
I think it's Friday,
Yeah,
right? Because we
Friday.
were originally going to go
Yeah,
Thursday.
cool.
Yeah. Are we excited for Dark Fate?
Well, they're talking about Terminator.
Terminator 2 is on Friday.
Oh, copy that.
This week.
But are we excited for Dark Fate? Because I'm getting excited for it.
I am.
I'm ready, dude. Like, what the fuck? Why not? At
Right.
this point, like, especially watching
Worst
1 and
case
2.
scenario, it's bad.
I like that it's the same characters and
I
stuff. Let's
saw
fucking
a
go.
recent thing that popped up that like the reviews are saying that it is obviously not as good as 2 or 1, but it is by far like the best of the sequels.
If it's better than Salvation, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Salvation's
feel like
not
that's
bad.
Honestly, even if
The
it's
most
as
you can
good
ask
as Salvation, I'll be like, this was enjoyable.
Yeah. I'm down for that.
I like Mackenzie
for sure.
Davis. I think she's awesome.
Me
know
too.
Dude, she needs to get her come up. She should be a giant star, which she kind of is, but she should
just
be
got
bigger.
cast in something else cool too.
She was so good in *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Ah, she was fucking awesome in that. She was good in What If. Did you ever see that? She played Adam Driver's girlfriend, and they were both way taller than Daniel Radcliffe, and it was adorable.
No.
What is the Bloodshot trailer? No, it's gonna be a bad movie, Mr. Yes Man. Don't support Vin Diesel's other movies that are outside of Fast and Furious. He needs to make another goddamn Riddick. That's it.
Ignacio says, do you purposely schedule Extra Life for the time change? No, the weekend we do it is like the official Extra Life weekend.
Yeah, take it up with Mr. Extra Life.
Mr. Extra Life himself.
Oh, The Turning. It's a new horror movie that
And he
she
also
plays
says-
like the nanny in.
Update
Oh,
on
that looks
Internet
cool.
Explorers. Just any week that we have 2 in reviews that we're doing, we're going to get rid of or replace one of the morning shows. And Internet Explorers is the most expendable,
Oh man, we're starting.
disposable.
Sirens
We got the
on.
Phantom Menace this week, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we do.
Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow, yeah.
I gotta watch that.
Man, oh man, yeah. Isn't that a horrible realization, Kevin?
Yeah,
You're like,
it is.
fuck. I know where my night's gonna be tonight.
I'm
Dude,
so glad I watched it in the airport.
I watched it on the plane and I watched it on my phone. I'm tempted to go back and watch it on my TV because I remember the effects.
I loved it.
being a lot different
Man.
than they are when I look at them now.
Yeah.
Like I honestly think that there are some things in that movie I could do better with current After Effects.
Oh.
It's crazy. Some of the green screen is
Undeniably.
like bad, like not like the around their heads is like super blurry. Like remember, did you
There's
ever have
not
to do
much
that?
green screen
What's
in
that?
one. There's not
In Phantom
much green
Menace?
screen in
There's a
one.
Yeah, there is.
every like
What?
interior shot.
Yeah.
Every time they're anywhere, it's green screen behind them. Like it's bad. There's like no practical sets whatsoever.
It's like every
No,
piece.
that's not right at all. There's a ton of practical sets.
Like a lot of times where they're like inside of when they go back to Coruscant.
Oh,
and they're-
Coruscant. Okay.
Like
yeah.
well, like even just a lot of the interiors are not real. Just
Yeah.
like Attack of the Clones.
yeah, like Palpatine's little throne room. I think they built, but like the Jedi Council, you're like this shit. Looks
Yeah, all the
not great.
or most of the Naboo stuff and Tatooine stuff. Like those are sets.
No, I mean except for
They're like small.
all the droid battles
Only-
and shit like that that
like-
are complete
Yeah.
CG.
God.
Part of the Naboo stuff is sets.
The
And
palace.
The palace
Yeah.
stuff, and shockingly, the palace stuff is the stuff that actually looks cool and works. But
Really dope.
man, there's some stuff. Whew, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Jar Jar,
Ooh,
man. Jar
Fucking
Jar
A,
is
man.
as bad as.
I thought because we talked about this, we're like we're all gonna go in this with like a fresh slate and try to stay as positive as possible. And there are some really great
There
moments in
definitely
this.
are good things about
But
it.
holy fuck, nothing happens in this movie. It is. We'll get to it tomorrow. Sorry.
Yes.
There's just so much exposition of people telling people what's happening instead of doing the thing that's happening. God damn. It's almost like they weren't directed by the same person.
Sightful Rage says, I like that Jar Jar rose above the hatred and made something of himself.
You mean when he gets promoted to a general for no fucking reason?
God damn.
Or when he becomes a senator later on.
Jesus Christ. Senator Jar Jar.
You're a big doo-doo this time.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for the Phantom Menace in review and also Kind of Funny Games Daily. It's Fran and Imran. That should be fun. Until then.
Goodbye.